Massey squares off against Trump-backed Ed Gallrein. CBS's Zach Hudak notes Massey pressed the White House for more transparency on the Jeffrey Epstein case.
Tom Massey worked together with a Democrat, with Ro Khanna of California, to push forth Epstein legislation at a time when the White House was still opposing the further release of those documents.
The number of people enrolled in the Affordable Care Act marketplace could drop by nearly 5 million this year. CBS's Allison Keyes.
The report finds that not only might enrollment drop by 20%, but those who are still in the program are paying deductibles that are an average of $1,000 higher than before. The drop is mostly due to the expiration of COVID-era subsidies on January 1st. Healthcare could be a big issue in this year's midterms.
The Trump administration again slapped sanctions on Cuba and several of its top political leaders. CBS's Christian Benavides reports.
Among the top Cuban officials hit by the new sanctions, the president of the National Assembly, as well as the ministers of Communications and Justice, and several people that are working for the armed forces. Now, the State Department said in a statement that the United States will continue to take action to counter the Cuban regime.
President Trump shows off the construction of the White House ballroom.
The entire roof is developed for military. They're very high. They're higher than just about anything else. They have a 360-degree vision of Washington, D.C.
The ballroom cost is $400 million in private donations, but Republicans in Congress are asking for $1 billion to pay for security upgrades. Stocks are down on Wall Street. This is CBS News.
I want to know what's going on in the world.
I'm Tony.
There are big questions that all of us are asking. I want to get you the answers.
How are you?
I'm Tony DeCopel. Join me on the CBS Evening News.
Download to see if you qualify. Not all customers will qualify. Transfer fees may apply. No Albert subscription required. Albert is not a bank. Albert Instant Loans are issued by FinWise Bank, member FDIC. Not an actual client. Terms apply.
Kylie, what's wrong? I just got hit with a car repair bill. I'm behind on rent, and I feel like I can never save any money.
Have you tried the Albert app? Albert is your financial assistant, helping you find ways to save and create custom budgets to actually grow your money. Plus, you can get up to $10,000 for big expenses, or advance up to $1,000 fast when you need cash right away.
Albert can get me up to $10,000?
Exactly. Albert spots you in a pinch and helps you grow your money in the long run.
I'm downloading Albert right now.
Download the Albert app and use promo code GO to borrow up to $10,000 for whatever you need. The Albert app helps you budget better and save more money so you reach your financial goals faster. Download the Albert app right now and use promo code GO to borrow up to $10,000. Use code GO to borrow up to $10,000.
A woman finds a 3-carat white diamond at a state park in Arkansas. CBS's Michael Wallace has more.
Thousands of people flock to Crater of Diamond State Park each year, hoping to get lucky in a 37-acre plowed field.
This looks like a great spot to start digging.
Kessia Smith of Pennsylvania says her recent discovery was meant to be after she recently lost her son and her father. Experts say her diamond is probably worth up to $6,000. Since the park opened in 1972, visitors have found more than 37,000 diamonds.
And we just found this beautiful little yellow gem. Check it out.
Michael Wallace, CBS News.
Home Depot profit fell in the fiscal first quarter, but it topped expectations in the face of growing economic uncertainty. There was a strong showing from professional customers buying water heaters and paint, while homeowners started stocking up on some of their spring supplies, including plants, outdoor power equipment, patio items, and grills. Jennifer Kuiper, CBS News.
Ready or not, summer is coming, and Wayfair's Memorial Day clearance is on now. Right now through May 25th, get up to 70% off everything home at Wayfair. Plus, score amazing doorbuster deals all sale long and surprise flash deals on Memorial Day. We're talking thousands of products at every style and budget. Now is the time to save big on must-haves for your patio, backyard, and beyond. These savings won't last, so don't wait. Shop Wayfair's Memorial Day clearance now through May 25th.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
You know that Big Bargain detergent jug is 80% water, right? It doesn't clean as well.
80% water? I thought I was getting a better deal because it's so big.
If you want a better clean, Tide Pods are only 12% water. The rest is pure, concentrated cleaning ingredients.
Oh, let me make an announcement.
Attention shoppers, if you want a real deal, try Tide Pods.
Stop paying for watered-down detergents. Pay for clean. If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Pods. Water content based on the leading bargain liquid detergent.
When it comes to your home, you shouldn't have to roll the dice with a small contractor or pay the high prices of a giant one. At Lemus Remodeling Group, a family-owned company, you get the perfect balance. Expert exterior remodeling from a team that's nationally recognized and neighborhood trusted. From roofing and siding to windows, doors, and gutters, the Lemus team delivers quality work, honest pricing, and a home that feels brand new. Call 610-GO-LEMUS to schedule your free consultation today or visit their website at golemus.com. Lemus Remodeling Group. Trust Lemus for a lifetime.
Weather is sponsored by Ashley Furniture.
Potential record heat remains in the forecast through Wednesday. While plenty of sunshine today with a high 98, the record high is 96. A warm night tonight, partly cloudy, low 74 for the city, a bit cooler in the suburbs. And for Wednesday, partly sunny, very hot, chance for some afternoon showers and storms with a high 95.
Find unbeatable savings during Ashley's Memorial Sale. Save up to 20% on all Ashley furniture or enjoy 60 months no-interest financing with no minimum purchase. These Memorial Day deals won't last, so now's the time to upgrade. Shop today at Ashley.
WPHT, HD, WOGL, HD3, Philadelphia. From the Piazza Premium Automobile Studios.
Powering your drive with 10 brands and 20 locations.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. Free speech lives here. The WPHT Afternoon Show.
Hello, my little kitties. It is the afternoon show. Am I on the air everywhere? Yes, I am. Can you hear me now? Good. It is Election Day. And you know the tradition here in Philadelphia on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, vote early and vote often. And one of the nice surprises as we start the program today is that the WPHT Afternoons on YouTube already has 13 thumbs up, 13 likes before I utter a single word. They like me. They really like me, as Sally Field once said at the Academy Awards. 13 likes. Maybe they were late Dom Giordano likes, and they carried over to the show. We'll do an investigation later on, a forensic one. But we got voting going on in 6 states, including Pennsylvania. And as you know, it's not my style to criticize. I'm not a person in here who's just looking for negativity. As the great Spiro Agnew once said, I'm not a nattering nabob of negativism. You remember that back in the day? It is 99.5 degrees on our screen. I believe that's a record. Wayne Atkinson notices on the YouTube stream, it says 3:09 p.m., 99.5. Can we make it to a good 100? What happens if we hit 100 degrees? Wow. Now, where is that temperature being recorded from? Is Justin Otero in the building?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see him.
Yeah,
I didn't see him.
Loading up the clips.
All right. Now, he's got a not Maroon 5, a Maroon Phillies hat. The Phillies are the hottest team in baseball. Break this team up. I was actually watching last night. They're damn good, man. They went from famine to feast.
It's the magic of Donnie Baseball.
It is Donnie Baseball. He's got to go into the Hall of Fame. I think he's Manager of the Year right now. Shut it all down. Give him the Manager of the Year. Anyway, we got a lot to talk about, a lot of election stuff. You know, I even though I was a political science major at Temple University back in the day, I pretty much hate politics. I hate what it's become. I mean, we talk about politics, especially on Election Day, because that's all people are obsessed about, it seems. And to me, most politicians sicken me. And my least favorite politician has already done something to really, really gird my loins today. And that is Joshi Shapiro. I don't know if you got this cut now. The great Matt DeSantis in the building, Justin Otero. And we will have, it is another Ladies' Day today. We will have 2 ladies and 1 guy. Wasn't that a show? And then there was a pizza place. Who was that show on ABC? 2 girls, a guy, and a pizza place. You know who was in that show, don't you?
No.
You know who the male lead in that show was?
Who is it? I'm curious now.
He's one of the biggest stars out there right now. The guy who played.
Oh, wait, you're right.
It's Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds, yes.
Wow.
Ryan Reynolds was actually in that TV comedy show, Two Guys, a Girl, and a Pizza Place.
I've never seen it, and I know why, because I Googled it. I looked at the Rotten Tomatoes ranking.
Yeah.
It's at 33%, so was not well received.
No, it was a terrible show. But, everybody sees Ryan Reynolds in everything now. But he was on that show. He was a wimpy guy back in those days when he started out. Now he's wimpy now that the not the Iron Man things, the Deadpool. I don't think they're doing any more Deadpools, are they?
I don't know. That's a good question. I feel like those films have ran their course. They were good, but they kind of got progressively worse as they went along.
Speaking of progressively worse, it looks like Philadelphia's headed in that direction, and so is the rest of the country. How about that segue into Election Day? The great Christine Flowers is going to join us at 4 o'clock. I love her takes. She's another fellow Italian-American type of person. She's good. She doesn't care. Well, she cares enough that she's like me. She's got no filter. She spits whatever she sees, and she's already on Twitter today. She's at the Flower Lady, Christine Flowers. You can follow her on Twitter. She's on with Dom a lot of times on that Channel 6 Sunday morning show, the political one. So be good to talk to her at 4 o'clock. The great Guy Sharaki will be joining us at 5, and then Susan Crabtree at 6. So we obviously have to lead with politics. There's elections in 6 different states today. Here in Pennsylvania, Georgia, Kentucky, Oregon, Idaho, and Alabama. Now in Philly, there's some weird stuff. For example, Brian Fitzpatrick is running unopposed in the Republican primary in Bucks County. You know why he's running unopposed? Because the stinking GOP in Bucks County does not want to put anyone up against him as an unopposed candidate. You can write somebody in. Is that lame? Is that me or is that lame? Why would they not put up a competitor against Brian Fitzpatrick? Is he untouchable? Wow. So that's lame. And then you had yesterday the rally, the day before rallies. And I got to say this. Did you watch the Sharif Street rally in a half-empty room yesterday? Do we have any of that? Do we have video of that, I don't know if that's on the cut sheet.
We're going to grab some.
Okay. So here you have another guy from another state. Cory Booker comes down from North Jersey in Newark, and he comes to this room that's half empty that has Sharif Street, and of course you have Mayor Sherelle Parker and Cory Booker in this room, and it was half empty. Now, I don't know if that's an omen of anything the day before the election, if the guy who's the Philly guy who went to school here is a lawyer, and he gets Spartacus or Spartacus, whatever his name is up there. That guy has to come down to try to prop up Sharif Street. And meanwhile, you got the other dude who's got all the socialists of the world going gaga. And based on just preliminary looking through all the social media today, it seems like the Philly Yimbys. You know what a Yimby is, don't you, Matt DeSantis?
I don't know if I know the exact definition, but I know it's not a good thing.
No, it's just a term. Yimby means yes in my backyard. And then there's the NIMBYs who don't want anything built near there, so they're not in my backyard as a NIMBY. It's not a sexual thing.
Okay.
That's just a term. Not in my backyard. So if somebody wants to build, like a prison next door to you, and then the NIMBYs. Same thing with Chinatown, when the Sixer Arena talk. Remember that? And the people in Chinatown and the people in the neighborhood didn't want that. They didn't want to build the Sixers Arena downtown.
I was nervous. I wasn't certain if we were going to have to use the dump button.
No, come on, man. A Yimby, that's like, aren't you? See, you're not one of these guys who goes down to Fishtown and hangs out with all the boys who are drinking IPAs for $12 for a 12-ounce pour.
No, he just goes to Boston to do that.
Yeah, he drives up to Boston. Did you see my cousin from Boston? In Boston. But anyway, the one thing about politics nowadays is there's so many unlikable people running for office. Back in the day, you used to look at one person and say, yeah, he looks like a nice person, or she looks very nice. I think that changed once everybody saw Hillary Clinton and what a sore loser she was when she lost to Trump in the 2016 election. But What about whataboutisms? Gary Stam says, okay, whataboutisms is present and accounted for. Exhausting. Here we go. What did I do in whataboutism? Because I'm missing. I guess I missed the early pretend. But people are talking about the election. George Carlin talked about NIMBYs back in the day. Not Gumby, damn it. Remember Gumby? One of the great Saturday Night Live bits when Saturday Night Live was funny back about 20 years ago. Remember that?
Gumby started on Saturday Night Live?
No, Gumby was the cartoon character. And then, what's his name? I'm Gumby, damn it. One of the funniest comedians ever. And now a superstar. You don't know who played Gumby? He played he did the I'm getting into the hot tub.
Oh, Eddie Murphy.
Eddie Murphy
Yeah.
had some of the most iconic Saturday Night Live characters ever. That's when it was funny. That's why Eddie Murphy is up there among the greatest comics of all time. People, they obviously the legends are there, but Eddie Murphy was awesome on Saturday Night Live. He killed it every single week. But now we got a little fight already. We have a skirmish already in the chat today. And I don't like when, that's what happens when the temperature gets up to 99.5. People start losing their you-know-what. Stay calm, stay cool. I have a T-shirt that says it. Keep calm and Bruno. Remember the original one? It was keep calm. It was a British thing, right? Keep calm and so-and-so.
And carry on.
Keep calm and carry on. How about keep calm and stay cool? Come on, people, no fighting.
We might have a record temperature today. If that 99.5 is accurate, that's on our screen right now. Apparently the hottest temperature ever recorded in the month of May in Philadelphia was in 1880.
1880?
And it was 99 degrees.
In 1880, they were keeping records?
Evidently. There's another...
Wait, were they screaming about climate change in 1880 when the country was just over 100 years old?
I don't think so. There's another source that says the hottest day in May in Philadelphia was in 1991 at 97 degrees. So there is some discrepancy in the record keeping.
So I want the actual record. Do I have to get John Bolaris on down there in the West Palm Beach? Do I have to call him right now?
It looks like the 99 is an unofficial record.
It's unofficial.
Yeah.
We will hold. Now, if you have a ticket, hold all tickets. Don't throw it away like you go to the racetrack. And then, my horse lost, and then you hold all tickets until we can verify the actual records.
Well, if we hit 99 and a half.
You said 88 in 1880?
Yeah.
Who the hell was keeping records in 1880?
I don't know.
We didn't have cars. We didn't have anything in 1880. What did we have?
Well, if the number on our screen is correct, then we've broken every record, whether
Maybe that's the
unofficial or
frequency
official.
of one of the radio stations down the hall. I don't know. Maybe we're on the wrong YouTube channel. So get out there and vote if you haven't. It's too hot for me to vote. And I have a long sleeve shirt on today. Plus, I have my Crumb Bum shirt on tonight. The shirt that everybody loves, Crumb Bum.
That is a handsome shirt.
Thank you very much. It's available, by the way.
Where?
On the TonyBrunoShow.com
Very nice.
in the shop. Merchandising.
Get it all. Don't miss any of it.
No, you're not. You can get anything. You've been in the shop, right? Tony Bruno shop
Yeah,
on
it looks
the
great.
TonyBrunoShow.com. Help a brother out. I need a swimming pool. I need to start building a swimming pool. I got a new house without a swimming pool in Florida. That's like a sacrilege. That's like having a Camaro here or a Mustang, without the wheels and without all the stuff inside. You know what I mean? Ulysses S. Grant was the official meteorologist in 1880, according to Marcus Aurelius.
I don't think that's true.
Wait, you telling me that Marcus Aurelius, who's the real Marcus Aurelius, is giving me false information about Ulysses S. Grant?
I think the real Marcus Aurelius has been gone for a while.
Yes, John Bolaris will have a late-breaking update on Russian models in the West Palm Beach area of Florida. And where's Glenn Hurricane Schwartz when we need him? Is he still doing weather locally?
I don't think so. I think he's retired.
Did he retire too? Did the bow tie go with him?
No, they kept that. That's
but
still
who
out
has
there.
to have the record now for a meteorologist? The chick at Channel 6. The blonde chick who's been there forever. She still looks great, too. I'm having a problem with names today. What's the chick?
Cecily Tynan?
Cecily Tynan.
Yeah.
She's got to be the longest. I mean, Herb Clark was around forever. Herb Clark was doing the weather at Channel 10 when I was doing the morning show at the old WCAU, when it was WCAU Talk Radio 1210. Sheena Parveen was one of my favorites, too. She was locally, and then she went to San Diego. She went to Washington, and then she went to San Diego. You know why weather people moved to San Diego eventually? Because the forecast is the same every day. They don't have to do any work. They don't even have to worry about hurricanes or typhoons. All they worry about is earthquakes. And when one comes, that's the big one, probably. But there's earthquakes every day in L.A. I lived in L.A. I would feel the house shaking. Then I realized there was a couple people upstairs, getting it on.
Oh, gosh.
But anyway.
You are correct, by the way. Cecily Tynan has been on ABC since 1995.
How many years? Now, my math is
30.
bad, and I was told there would be no math on this show.
I'll do the math for you.
95, 2005,
31.
That is 31 years ago. Who else is a weather person, meteorologist, for 31 years in any market? And I got to give her credit. A lot of people move on. She does a great job. I've gone back and forth with her on social media. People were going after her one day when there was, in the wintertime especially. When a meteorologist gives you the AccuWeather forecast and it calls for like a couple of inches and then you get a blizzard, and then people blame the meteorologist. That's why it's called forecasting. It's like people making predictions on elections and football games. It's like Nick Cale, who's obsessed with Kalshi and all of these, Poly Market and all this other stuff. Jessica Savage was the news anchor on Channel 3 back in the day. Remember Jessica? No, you're too old. You weren't even. She was gone.
Jessica
She died
Savage.
before you were even born, the late, great Jessica Savage. She was on Channel 3 back in the day. Because remember, Channel 3 was the NBC station, and Channel 10 was the CBS station. Channel 6 has always been ABC. Wait a minute. Margaret Orr has been on WDSU in New Orleans since Noah got off the ark. See, now, I don't know this. Well, yeah, Jessica Savage couldn't swim. Now, come on, man. Don't be making jokes like that. Come on, Joe. Joe Ritchie out of here. You're better than that, man. Come on, man. Come on. Mort Krim. He wasn't a weather guy, though. He was an anchor, man.
Mort Krim, what a name.
You remember Mort? No, see, I'm asking you.
I don't remember.
I got to ask you, how old are you, Matt DeSantis?
I'm not old enough to remember Mort Krim. Apparently, he was... Oh, he's been gone since 97. I didn't see Mort Krim. Yeah.
Jerry Garcia says, Nick has made me money on Kalshi. I thought Kalshi was like a cereal. Isn't Kalshi like a cereal box of some kind?
Yeah.
Aren't you?
Yeah, I think it is. Well, Kalshi, they say that only 1% of bettors on Kalshi end up making money, and the rest of them are like kind of sucker bets. You're just going to lose more. Well, I think that's true of any online gambling, but Kalshi is no different.
By the way, Sue Serio has been around a long time on Fox 29. Great lady. I got to know her when I was doing a lot of hits back in the day on the Fox Good Morning Show. I was on there with Mike Jarek, and I was on there with Chanel, who's now doing NBC News. So it's nice to have a lot of friends. Now, I like to think I helped teach Cecily Tynan how to pour a beer at a celebrity bar event. She was then at 11 o'clock wearing the same clothes and kind of tipsy. No, because they have to do the 6 and then they got to come back and do the 11. So that's why the guy in Florida got fired. The best hurricane guy, he was doing Wink News in Florida, and he was worked like 24 hours a day during hurricane season, which is like June to November. And then his wife got pregnant and had a kid, and he said, I'm going to take a couple of days off, because my wife just had a kid. He's been there forever. He was the best meteorologist. Kathy Orr's been around for a while, too. Listen, I know a lot of them. Joe Carcione was the greengrocer on Channel 6, and then Kathy Orr has been around. I love the greengrocer. Again, all of these things before your time. We can't be bringing up these references that are more than 10 years old for Matt DeSantis.
I won't understand them. I do like when they send the meteorologists into the heart of the storm, though. I never think that's necessary, but I appreciate their efforts.
Well, Jim Cantore was the best. But then, of course, remember Steve Keeley here in Philadelphia, his legendary clip during a snowstorm, remember? He was standing like on the sidewalk just off the curb, and a snowplow came by and just buried him with a gigantic snow drift. I mean, it was nasty. Find that out. Find out Steve Keeley Snowstorm video.
I'm grabbing this clip now.
It is one of the all-time legendary. And Jim O'Brien, I worked with him. I was working with Jim O'Brien in 1971. That's how old I am. Now, Matt, you need Harvard references to get any of these jokes. Dave Roberts, who just retired. Dave Roberts, you know who his son is?
I don't even know who Dave Roberts is.
Dave Roberts was a Channel 6 weatherman before Cecily Tynan.
Oh, sorry.
After Jim O'Brien died in a parachuting accident.
Who's his son?
You know who Dave... Let's see if people know who Dave Roberts' son is. Dave Roberts' son is a big-time celebrity. Been in a bunch of TV shows. Everybody should know this. Let's see if people will get it. Stop bringing up people I work with. I've worked with everybody who's ever been in this business, all right? I've worked with everybody who's ever been on the air in Philadelphia and nationally. Don't remind me. No, Dave Roberts is not Julia Roberts' cousin. Come on, man.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Dave Roberts' son, I'm going to give you the answer right. David Boreanaz. Thank you very much. David Boreanaz from Bones. David Boreanaz is legendary. The guy's making more in residuals than most people make in salaries. SEAL Team is one of his shows. He was on Bones. Remember, he grew up in Buffalo. So Dave Roberts started in Buffalo, and his son, David Boreanaz, because that's Dave Roberts' real name is David Boreanaz Sr., and then he named his son David, but David kept Boreanaz as his name. And so David Boreanaz was Angel on Buffy. The guy's been in everything, and a good friend. And so he and his dad were from Buffalo. So when Dave Roberts came to Philadelphia to do the weather, his son came down with him, and he became a big Flyers fan. So he's a big Flyers fan. I've done a lot of events with him. You know, he had a nail polish for the Flyers, and we went out and did a lot of great stuff. Good guy. We got to get him on one of these days. Good friend of the show. Anyway, let's take our first break.
We do have the snowplow clip before we go to break. We got to watch.
If you haven't seen this, is he really doing a remake of the Rockford Files, David Boreanaz? See, I don't know anymore. See, people make stuff, and we don't make stuff up on the show. Everything I say is factually documented, and you can fact check it. Let's go to the clip. One of this most unbelievable clips in Philadelphia television history. The great snowstorm debacle with the sled, the snowplow.
A lot of snow on the roads. A plow just went by here about 2 minutes ago, and it looks like it hasn't been plowed. So that's the problem. You have this snow blowing somewhere, and especially in a rural area like this where there's no buildings blocking the snow from blowing back onto the road. Even a main road like this, Route 40 here in Salem County, just after it's plowed, it's going to be snow covered once again. So that's not good news on that front either. So a lot of winds and a lot of ice. I'll leave it on a nice note. It is spring.
Here comes the plow.
The Phillies in spring training. Chanel, Chris, I promised some history today. We're in Woodstown. Only one Philly born and raised in Woodstown. That would be Hildreth Milton Flitcraft, known as Hilly Flitcraft. He only had one summer with the Phillies. There goes a couple of plows demonstrating what I said. I said, hitting us. All right, there you go. Here comes another one.
Steve Keeley, Steve, get out of the way. There's like a train of snowplows coming.
Why didn't he move?
Nothing beats a train. Wait, the last one gets him, nails him. There's a train of snowplows right there, and the Cowtown Rodeo is right across the street. I know exactly where he is. Oh, man.
The first couple got close. He didn't shimmy. Just shimmy to the left. Get out of there.
One of the greatest street reporters in Philadelphia history, the great Steve Keeley. Anyway, I don't know. Something's going on with Steve Keeley health-wise, I believe. We haven't seen him in a while. Hopefully he's okay. But he's one of my favorite guys. He would be everywhere. 855-839-1210. We're just getting this party started. It's 3:30. Election updates. We'll have some of the worst people on earth that people are voting for today. We will point them out, and I will bury Josh Shapiro. Do you have the clip? I sent it to you.
Yeah, we've got it. It's ready to go.
I'll play it when we come back. You have the one I'm talking about where he actually tells everybody who he voted for?
I believe that. Yeah, that is the clip. We're ready to go. Yeah, we'll play it when we come back.
When we come back, we'll play Josh Shapiro. This is why you can't hate Josh Shapiro more than I do. And I've never met Josh Shapiro. I have nothing personal against him. I don't dislike him because he's Jewish, like a lot of people. Like a lot of Jewish people. I mean, he got shafted because he was Jewish by his own party. So it's not a Jewish thing. But that's on Route 30, exactly right, and Route 40, which is the goes through Cowtown down there in Salem County. Anyway, we'll come back. We'll show you why Josh Shapiro should be the most hated man in the state of Pennsylvania, maybe in the entire nation, and maybe by the entire Democratic Party. That's coming up next. Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
If you're in the Philadelphia area and caring for a loved one with Medicaid, get paid starting today. Freedom Care has already helped over 162,000 families get the care they deserve, with 97% satisfaction and more than 8,000 five-star reviews. If you have Medicaid, you need to hear this. You may qualify to choose a caregiver you already trust, a family member or friend, and they can start getting paid. No agencies, no strangers, just someone you know, helping with meals, medication, bathing, mobility, and more. This service isn't for later, it's for right now. It's 100% free to you through Medicaid, and caregivers get paid right away after their shift. Find out if you qualify today. Call 267-535-2174. That's 267-535-2174. Don't wait. Call 267-535-2174 now. Again, that's 267-535-2174. Freedom Care. Get paid to care, starting now.
Picking out an engagement ring can be terrifying. You're searching for the ring, but have no idea where to start. Go to Family & Company Jewelers in Marlton. The team, especially JR, makes it easy. No pressure, just real help from someone who cares. They break down diamonds, styles, and what actually matters. Their selection is huge. Every shape, size, and price range. You leave confident, not overwhelmed. When it comes to finding the ring, there's only one place to go. Family & Company Jewelers, South Jersey's diamond destination.
Attention. Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers, so don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-358-6868. That's 800-358-6868. Again, 800-358-6868.
Hey everyone, I'm Josh Radner, and I am so excited to tell you about How We Made Your Mother, a rewatch podcast looking back at How I Met Your Mother. And I'm here with Craig Thomas, who co-created the show along with Carter Bays. Hi, Craig.
Hey, Josh. Somehow it has been 20 years since the show premiered. I'm going to check the math on that. 10 years since it went off the air, and we thought that made this a perfect time to look back, see what the hell we did, and why the show still seems to resonate with fans around the world today.
Follow and listen to How We Made Your Mother wherever you get your podcasts.
Time now for today's Spotlight on Tech, sponsored by University of Maryland Global Campus.
Google has launched a new screenless fitness tracker powered by artificial intelligence. The Fitbit Air is Google's smallest tracker yet, packing high-fidelity sensor technology in a tiny pebble that tracks heart rate and variability, blood oxygen levels, sleep stages, and other health metrics. Google says the Fitbit Air has up to a week of battery life and takes just 5 minutes to charge for a full day. I'm Jason Brooks.
My dad passed away unexpectedly. Of course, it was awful in every way, but we are very grateful that he had life insurance. So even after he was gone, he was still able to provide for us. And that's why I have life insurance for my family. Ethos.com. They make it fast and easy to get covered. It's 100% online. You get a quote in seconds, and you can apply in minutes. You get covered the same day.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/protect. That's ethos.com/protect. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required. Rates may vary.
I finished a 5K in 94th place. Right after a man wearing jeans. They still gave me a medal. I don't want a reward for doing. I want a reward for dominating. Like Daily Prize Match on Bet365. I play for free and win real rewards. Like up to $5,000 in cash weekly. unlike that joker in denim. Bet365. Winning is everything. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically present in New Jersey and Pennsylvania. T's and C's apply.
In Philadelphia, Chase is proud to root for the home team because they're our team too. We cheer from the bleachers and on the sidelines. We cheer for gymnasts and quarterbacks. And with more than 80 local Chase branches and 5,000 nationwide, we are right beside you, Philadelphia. Neighborhood bankers, digital tools, national strength. Chase, make more of what's yours.
JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
Tune in to the Crash Proof Retirement Show Saturdays at 11 a.m. to hear Joanne Small-Canella and Tracy Stillman. The Crash Proof Retirement Show, Saturday mornings at 11 on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Broadcasting live from the Piazza Premium Automobile Studios.
Powering your drive with 10 brands and 20 locations.
Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Remember yesterday, around this time, there was that mosque shooting in San Diego, California, and then there was a fire in California. Well, now, all of a sudden, you'll see that story go away very, very quickly because the two suspects who killed themselves after all was said and done were a couple of teenagers. And not were they only teenagers who went in there attempting to murder young children in the mosque where there were school children in there. They took their own lives and they also killed one of the security officials. They're teenagers, 17-year-old and an 18-year-old. One of the two is a transsexual and the other one is their partner. So these are two teenagers, mentally deranged, obviously, as you've seen in many of these instances where the killers are trans. And I don't know what's going on right now in this country. How many, I'm not keeping track of this. To me, any kind of shooting is a tragedy. But there's a reason. And they knew right away this was a hate crime. Because anytime somebody goes into a school or a church or a synagogue or whatever, or a mosque, with the intent of killing people, that's a hate crime. But some hate crimes are different than others. Others, they don't tell you it's a hate crime because of the reason or because of the situation surrounding it. They knew this was a hate crime right away because these two teenagers went outside in a car and killed themselves. So that's the bottom line. And that's the sad reality. You won't see anybody talking about it. This story will go away after they were outraged, and all these politicians, even the Brian Fitzpatricks and all these other Pennsylvania phonies trying to get sympathy, giving out, our prayers are with the Islamic people. And our prayers are always with people who are in buildings where some nut job goes in and tries to kill them. You don't just pray for just anybody. You pray for everybody. When somebody is in a building where there's an assassin running loose, to just pick and choose when you consider it a hate crime is just ridiculous. We knew this was a hate crime before we even knew who the suspects were. Just like every other shooting at a school. You don't go in to shoot up a school if you're mentally stable. And sadly, many of these killers, and you go down and look at the killers that have been out there killing people in public, and many of them are trans-identified people. So to me, this got to be some sort of a mental problem to go that far to suggest that you are not the person you were when you were born and then go through all the surgeries and everything else. Only one of them did, apparently, and the other one was the partner, and they were 17 and 18 years old, and they go in there with the intent of killing Muslim children. And right away we knew. Now, by the way, I know I shouldn't have teased this story because I guarantee you when Josh Shapiro's people posted the video that I saw earlier before I came in here, because he's posting like crazy about vote for this, vote for that, vote for this, vote for that. He actually posted a video of himself outside with all of the local media minions who bow before the greatness that is Josh Shapiro, all of them were outside with their microphones. And then he says, and the announcement was, I'm going to announce who I voted for. And it was another gutless, shameless sham as the local all the TV cameras and all the microphones are in Joshy's face and his wife standing by there smiling. And guess what he said? Instead of saying who he voted for is ice cream flavors. That's right. That's how gutless Josh Shapiro is. I'm going to tell you who I voted for. And then he doesn't tell you who he voted for and thinks that you are going to laugh at that rather than ridicule him for being a phony. Again, I don't know Josh Shapiro. I've never met him. He's never called me on any talk shows because when I was doing sports talk, Josh Shapiro was a nobody. So now he's calling all the sports stations in Philly and he'll call the sports stations in Pittsburgh because that's what governors do in every state. I get that. Now, you don't shoot anybody without hate unless it's self-defense, of course. So I know hate crime is a federal charge. So the San Diego DA doesn't have a say on the charge. Well, there are no charges now because the two suspects are dead. They killed each other. They killed themselves. And a poor security guard had to die. So that's the bottom. That's the problem with this. People getting access to guns, and then they blame the guns. The first thing is always just the guns. It's easy to get guns, especially in places like Philadelphia where it's hard. Supposedly, any place that's hard to get guns, apparently people who are bad people get guns or find guns or carry them across state lines. Anyway, so I just wanted to play that. I wanted to play that for Christine Brennan. I can't believe it's gone. I guarantee you his campaign pulled it down because he was being ridiculed at record. You know the ratio? He got ratioed. He got ratioed all the way the hell to Hershey. Not the Hershey Highway. That's a little different. Although it runs through Hershey, by the way, as you know. So does Route 30. You know, Route 30, you can go up to Hershey that way instead of taking the road, the freeways and stuff. You know what I'm saying? 855-839-1210. So I just wanted to play that Josh Shapiro. I should have saved it. Should have posted it. Let me see if I reposted it. Can you check my Twitter? Go to X, of course, at Tony Bruno Show.
Yeah, I didn't say it.
I may have reposted it because I know I wrote a comment to him because I could not refrain myself from going after him. Now, I don't threaten him. Can we get it back to Cecily Tyner? No, we're not. We did our weather segment. We told you it's hot as hell. I think hell is not as hot as it is in Philadelphia today because it's election day. And by the way, all the people, the good news about the dead voters in Philadelphia who always come out strong regardless of whether it's a midterm, whether it's an off-year election when Larry Krasner's running every off-year election when 12 people go out, you know there's always at least 11,000 dead people, no matter what the weather is, no matter if it's hot or cold or raining or snowing, the dead always come out. And the good thing is, the dead always vote Democrat. Have you noticed that? The dead people always vote straight Democratic Party. They have been in Philadelphia since 1973, I believe. 72 or 73. Exactly. 855-839-1210. Open lines. Jump on in here. Did you vote today? Do you care about voting?
We do have a clip of Josh Shapiro that you responded to, although it doesn't sound exactly like the one that you're referencing. We can play it and give it a shot.
Yeah, play it and give it a shot. Not what I say.
I'm here at Rydell Elementary in Abington, Montgomery County, Pennsylvania, and I just cast my ballot. I want to encourage all of you to get out and vote today. Your vote is your power, and you can get out and vote until 8 p.m. when the polls close. Your voice matters, and we need to hear it. Get out and vote.
No, that's not the one. That's not the one that I'm talking about. He did a follow-up one at the same place when he went to the side and all the cameras were there. This is him doing his selfie. He is Mr. Selfie. He's holding the camera himself. He's self-obsessed.
Yeah, he definitely deleted it then because it's not on here
Oh,
anymore.
I'm telling you, he absolutely got savaged because he realized that's beyond cringe. It's beyond cringe when he does stuff like that. He was so he had the different flavors of ice cream. So instead of telling you who he really voted for, because that would require having cojones, he then did the whole ice cream stick. Oh yeah, I had vanilla, chocolate, strawberry, and then I know strawberry's not really a flavor, and so it was Team Shapiro that posted it. Is there a Team Shapiro feed that's separate from his other feeds, the one where he's running for president and the other one where he's not telling you what he's doing, and the one where he's pimping himself and reminding you to go vote, and he doesn't tell you who to vote for? He did not endorse any candidates publicly. You realize that? Unbelievable. But we have some other creeps out there running in elections today, including this woman in Michigan. You notice Michigan really has a lot of bad candidates with Gretchen Whitmer. And now you have this state representative, Mai Zhang, Xiong. You have the video of this one? She was born in Thailand. So you have to watch this closely. If you're watching it or listen, she's dressed up. She's from Thailand. She's in the United States. And she takes this moment of running for re-election to call the USA garbage. She mocks Erica Kirk and the English language, and then she goes on to mock Trump by driving through a McDonald's as she's trashing the country while she's pretending to be looking. She's not like that other nasty chick who's twerking on camera. Is she from Michigan too?
Yeah, she's from Michigan.
What's going on with these people in Michigan? They're nuts. It started with Michigan's football team cheating, and then the coach banging 25-year-olds. Everybody is nuts in Michigan right now. But let's go to this state representative, Mai, M-A-I, Xiong. Is that Zhong? Let's go to the tape.
Maka was not happy I wore my traditional Hmong garb to work to celebrate my cultural heritage. So today, I'm going to wear their garb. First, I put on my Team USA shirt because I want everyone to know I'm proud to be an American. I do my MAGA makeup. I'm going for the Christine No meets Erica Kirk look. Like I just didn't get fired and I'm mourning the loss of my loved one. Then I practice my English in front of the mirror. I love my country. USA. Not Chinese. Not Japanese. American. And I do the most American thing. What does Trump usually get? I'm sorry, what? Big Mac with large fries and a Diet Coke. I love this American food. Then I come home and water my lawn. I don't know where the water comes from. I just turn the hose on and there's like no shortage of water. I gotta make sure that my lawn looks better than my neighbors. Otherwise, they're gonna call the city on me. That was a lot of work. So now I'm just sitting on my front porch staring down my immigrant neighbors. And then I notice something suspicious. I call ICE because there's a suspicious black SUV parked down the street. Finally, it's time for some Fox News at 5. I check my credit card bills and I laugh. I can't wait to get my Doge and tariff refund check so I can get back on track with my bills. It's not that serious, like get over it, you libtards. He didn't really mean it when he said open up the fucking straits or the entire civilization is going to die.
Yes, she's running for, but she's already in office, so she's running for a state election, sort of like state representatives, not congressional seats in Washington. And she's got a lot of make. I wouldn't. People are saying would. I would not. That kind of mockery, you're mocking the country that you came to and then ran for state office in Michigan, and now you're going to mock the language, the people, Erica Kirk.
Team, like the only tweet where Josh Shapiro mentions like a Team Josh.
What are you guys talking about in there? You're on the air. Are you talking with me, over me, under me?
No, we were talking about, we were still looking for that Josh Shapiro.
We found a Team Josh Shapiro account, but officially posted by the governor, and the only thing on it is Japanese stock news about the Nikkei.
I'm telling you, they had to delete that tweet was even too cringe for Josh Shapiro. Imagine that. This guy tweets every 10 seconds. Is Route 30 the Hershey Highway? I don't know. Yeah, Route 30 is Lancaster Avenue, but then it takes you up to Hershey if you go straight up there. Have you been up to the Amish country and then Hershey?
Oh, yeah.
Have you been to Hershey Park Happy?
Yeah, Hershey Park is wonderful.
I love Hershey Park.
And Amish country, they have some great buffets up there.
Absolutely. Do they have any Taiwanese? But no, that chick's from...
she's from Vietnam, I believe.
No. She's from Thailand.
Oh, no, you're right. Yeah, Thailand.
She needs to tie one on.
She was born in a refugee camp.
Yeah, so she's a refugee from Thailand. She probably imported some Thai sticks, which a lot of people used to smoke, but I don't know if those are still a thing in the pothead community. Thai sticks. You ever smoke a Thai stick? I don't smoke anything anymore. I stopped smoking cigarettes. Hey, Tony, the governor fixed the 95 fire at Cotman Avenue. Just ask him. He didn't fix anything. In China, in Florida, we fix massive breakdowns in hours. Josh Shapiro's taking credit for a state road, which is a federal road, 95? Yeah, she looks like she's been to Bangkok one too many times.
Would you rather have her representing you or the twerker, Shelby Campbell?
Wow.
If you had to choose one or the other, obviously
I would invite them both over to my place in Florida.
Okay.
And then get them all liquored up.
Okay, it's getting dark.
And then go outside when it's dark and walk near the edge of the lagoon and see if any of the alligators are ready to feed. And then I would accidentally, gently, not violently, not push them in or pick them up and throw them in alligator-infested water. I would just nudge just a little bit, because now, especially if she started twerking. Imagine if the other one started twerking on the seawall.
That's dangerous.
She's twerking everywhere in her house, and then she's saying, "Did you hear the video she was playing in one of them where it was talking about her sex organs?"
Yeah, we couldn't play that one.
I know we couldn't play that.
But to your point on Michigan, there's also the entire community of Dearborn, Michigan.
I know.
What's wrong with them?
It's like Somalians. No, that's Muslims. That's not Somalians. Well, Somalians are mostly practicing Muslims. It depends on which country from Africa. Not everybody in countries like Somalia are Muslims. There's a lot of countries where there's a Muslim majority, but there's other people. I don't think there's any Catholics in Somalia, if I'm not that. That Thai stick was a lady boy at Bar Tony wandered in on his vacation. No, I didn't go into that place. I stay out of those joints. I'd stay home. I wouldn't vote for either one of those two. Wow. I don't know. They're both pretty repulsive to me. At least the one chick isn't insulting anybody. She's talking just about her skills.
I think she might have a drinking problem, though.
Well, there's no doubt about that. The one chick with the twerk. Do we have another clean cut of her? I may have to do a side-by-side comparison right now. I may have to do a side-by.
Yeah, we'll grab the one from yesterday. Pull that up real quick, just so we can see Shelby Campbell
The other one,
again.
she does 2 songs in it, and the other song is so absolutely repulsive, where she's talking about things down there.
Yeah, there's one where she's talking about body parts that I don't think we can't use that language on the air.
You can't play that. That entire video would be one big bleep.
We've got it if you want to. Not the one with the repulsive language. We just have her doing some twerking. If you'd like to check it out again, why not?
Yeah, let's play. Well, we have to break here. Do we have to hit?
I always say we should prioritize twerking over commercials.
Yeah,
so we might as well.
Let's go to the twerk. What's this chick's name again?
Shelby Campbell, in case anybody in Michigan's 13th
Did she ever work at
district.
Lou Turk's up there near the airport in Marcus Hook, wherever it is now?
I'll check her bio and get back to you.
I think that's in Delco. Let's go to the twerking twitch chick.
This is what I do, because I am an ethical person.
Mm-hmm. Ethical person?
I'm a classy am I not?
You hear that laugh? It sounds like my laugh.
Guys, it's our time. the Wine Mom Gang.
Standing
White
up on her
ladies,
stink.
I'm glad that we are becoming the enemy to the white man as well. I'm proud of you. Now let's get it, girls.
Wow.
I think she'd be a great
I don't mean a
congresswoman.
good wow. I mean it's in Tinicum, Lester Essington, that's right. The great Lou Turks. They changed their names, though. They were bought out by a bigger consortium. But Lou Turks, legendary daytime crowd. Essington, Lester up in that area, and Delco, you know where that is. We'll take a break. When we come back, the great Christine, the flower lady, Christine Flowers. Nobody covers elections like Christine Flowers in Philly. She's going to join us. We'll get you an update. Are we going to go to the early do we have early results yet?
No, not yet.
Have they called any of the elections yet in Philadelphia?
I don't think just yet, no.
Has Brett Baer come in to call Camden for anybody locally? I don't think they're voting in New Jersey today.
Josh Shapiro called the ice cream race, but then he pulled it because the prediction was too early.
It's Tony Bruno. It's the afternoon show, Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
There's one box that you'd run back into your burning house to grab. It's the box filled with your videotapes, film reels, and photos. Those sentimental, meaningful, irreplaceable moments. Hi, I'm Nick Mako.
And I'm Adam Baselogger. We started Legacy Box over a decade ago so that we could help families save their memories from being destroyed by floods or fires.
And it's not just natural disasters, Adam. Every day, videotapes and photos are slowly fading away, decaying, neglected in closets and attics.
Digitizing your old media stops fading, and preserving those recordings means they are safe forever. It's like magic, converting your shoebox of memories into digital files, ready to watch and share.
It's the only way to ensure your legacy is safe for generations. That's why over 1 million families have already trusted Legacy Box. Legacy Box is simple and easy, it works, and is safe. We'd love to preserve your family's collection. Don't wait, the risk is too great.
Visit legacybox.com/radio to save 50%. That's legacybox.com/radio to get started and save. Legacybox.com/radio.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9834. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9834. That's 800-575-9834. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Ready for your next Jeep? Tri-County Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is the perfect fit waiting. Step into a new 2026 Jeep Wrangler with legendary capability. Now leasing for just $392 a month during the Declaration of Deals event. Need more? We have over 25 Jeep Grand Cherokees packed full of savings. Stop by during Declaration of Deals event to get your next Jeep at 422jeep.com or visit us at 15 D&L Drive 100 in Limerick.
39-month lease, 7,500 miles per year, $29.99 due at signing. 0 security deposit with approved credit, plus tax, title, and any other governmental charges. Expires 5/31/2026.
If your kitchen has been on your to-do list for years, Kitchen Magic has news for you. Hey, Dawn Stensland here. This May is the month to finally do it. They're offering up to 30% off kitchen renovations, plus flexible financing designed to fit any budget. Kitchen Magic has been family-owned and operated in Nazareth, PA since 1979, and their team is ready to bring your dream kitchen to life. Don't wait another year. KitchenMagic.com. KitchenMagic.com, 30% off. Tell them Dawn sent you.
Patrick was way behind on his IRS taxes.
I was in way over my head. The total amount ended up being somewhere just over $30,000. $30,000.
Then the IRS came to collect.
Started getting letter after letter. A lien had been filed against me. They were going to basically hang me completely out to dry.
He had to do something.
That's when I reached out to Optima Tax Relief.
Patrick's life quickly got a lot easier.
It was very easy, pretty much hands off. They picked up the ball and ran in with it.
And how'd it go?
I couldn't believe it. I had to ask like 2 or 3 times. I saved an incredible amount of money.
How does Patrick feel about Optima?
Couldn't be happier. They definitely helped me. Optima Tax Relief, the best place to call. They're the best in the business.
Do what Patrick did and call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
This is Jordan Lundy of Lundy Law. When we say we hope you're never the victim of a rideshare accident, we mean it. But if you should suffer a rideshare injury, we'll work quickly to get you the maximum compensation you deserve. And we mean it when we say there are never any upfront fees, ever. And we only get paid when your case is over and you get paid. Remember our name, Lundy Law, your injury lawyers. Call 1-800-LUNDY-LAW or visit lundylaw.com.
Prioritize yourself and make your dream of an attractive, healthy smile a reality at PI Dental Center. The professionals at PI Dental have been transforming patients' smiles for over 38 years. Board-certified specialists, Dr. Glenn Wolfinger and Dr. Robert Slough, perform complex dental makeovers with their Teeth in a Day protocol, where dental implants are placed and restored with fixed teeth in just 1 day. It's time to invest in yourself. For a smile that's monumental, trust PI Dental. Visit PIDentalCenter.com.
Hi, this is Dom Giordano. You know, when it comes to complex dental care, experience matters. At Bentz Dental Group, board-certified prosthodontists, Dr. Robert Bentz and Dr. Emily Bentz, bring advanced training and expertise to every case. They use the latest technology. Their team delivers accurate diagnosis from the very start and builds personalized treatment for you. Whether it's wear or tear or more advanced concerns, you are in expert hands. Get the smile you really want. Call 610-272-6949 or visit BentzDentalGroup.com.
It's that time of year to address some of those nagging projects around the house you've been putting off. If replacing your home's old, drafty windows and doors is on your to-do list, then you need to call my good friends at Guida Door and Window. Guida will help you get your project started with 20% off all windows and doors and letting you start your project today with no money out of pocket. And once your new high-quality windows and doors have been expertly installed, you'll have up to 3 full years to pay them off interest-free. So you'll be able to start enjoying all the benefits of new energy-efficient windows and doors, including increased comfort level of your home and lowered monthly energy bills, while having the luxury of paying off your project interest-free for up to 36 months. This offer is for a limited time only. Restrictions apply. For full details, call Guida today to schedule a free, no-obligation in-home estimate at 877-GO-GUIDA or visit them at GoGuida.com. That's go, G-U-I-D-A.com.
WPHT, HD, WOGL, HD3, Philadelphia. From the Piazza Auto Group Studios, experience the power of one with 8 brands and 25 locations. Always live on the free Odyssey app. Free speech lives here. Lives here. The WPHT Afternoon Show.
It's Tony Bruno in the chair. Flying solo on the air.
I need my drumsticks, man.
From 3 to 7, feel it right.
I need I need a drum kit in here.
Hot takes and laughs, he'll never miss a beat. When Bruno's on the mic, you know he brings the heat.
Yeah.
So tune the dial to the best in the nation. Matt and Justin hold it down, producing at the station. WPHT bringing the finest in all radio.
Newman Price once again with a banger.
Tony on the mic for the 3 to 7 show.
Oh, yeah. I feel like I'm at a strip club right now. I can see the hair blow. Oh, no, that's Christine Flowers' hair, and it's beautiful hair. And no, I'm not insinuating that she's ever even been near a strip club or Lou Turk's or any of the other establishments, or maybe even the Dolphin Tavern down in South Philly, which used to be a sailor's bar when I was growing up. When the sailors would come into town, they'd all walk up to Broad Street and Tasker and go into the Dolphin Tavern. A woman who knows Philadelphia. And I love her immensely. Christine Flowers, the Flower Lady. Christine, how are you?
I adore you. And, well, first of all, the Dolphin Club is about 5 blocks north of me, or well, maybe like 10 blocks north of me, on South Broad Street. So I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's a Dolphin Tavern. It's been there forever.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's exactly. I mean, I remember it was like the White Horse Tavern in West Philly as a little girl. It's like that white horse hanging on, I think it's Lancaster Avenue. I was cracking up when you were talking about the strip clubs because, yeah, I mean, we Catholic girls start much too late, as Billy Joel said. But when my mom was pregnant with me, they were trying to figure out, what they were going to name me. And my dad loved the name April. He adored that name. And April's a pretty name, but it also has, stripper undertones. So my father said, I want to name her April if it's a girl. And my mother said, if you name our daughter April Flowers, she will end up on a marquee at the Troc.
Oh, yeah. The old Troc Burlesque Club back in the day, too. Absolutely.
And the names of those girls, oh, my God.
Honeysuckle Divine. I saw her work many, many times. She had an amazing talent back in the day, if you know what I mean. And anybody who's around there, that's what happened. But, I'm an Italian kid from South Philly. We didn't go out and like go to King of Prussia and go crazy trying to buy a Swatch watch or go to a Chipotle and bust the place up. You know what I mean?
Exactly. No, I mean, and I feel bad when I walk in when I'm on is it Arch Street or Ray Street? I forgot. Walking in front of what used to be the Troc, and you can sort of see the bones of it, the old arches of it. Yeah. And I just look and I think, the history, Gypsy. Even in the movie Gypsy, the Troc, the world famous Troc, is included at the end when she's stripping and dipping and whipping and whatever else she was doing. So yeah, it was a lot of fun.
April flowers, April flowers bring May showers, and you know what May showers bring, right? Mayflowers. Pilgrims. I messed the joke up. Let's get to the stinking election. By the way, Josh Shapiro got ratioed so much that he pulled down the tweet that I was talking to you about when I was doing my show prep. It was a tweet where he was standing before all of his adoring media mobs in Philadelphia. All the TV locals were there. And he said, I'm announcing my ballot, who I voted for. And then he comes out with this shameless, gutless sham where he talks about the ice cream flavors and which one he voted as his favorite. Because he is a gutless guy who has no opinion on anything, and he hasn't endorsed anything. So why should people vote for him? Because I don't know Josh Shapiro. You probably have met him. I've never met him. I have nothing personal against him. I just don't like the guy.
I've never met him, and I have things that are personal against him. I mean, not personal. The guy hates Catholics. He is a putz. He is the kind of person, we were just talking about, South Philly kids as opposed to the kids out in the suburbs that would go to the King of Prussia Mall and all. You just look at Josh, and he grew up with a pencil protector attached to his blazer. He just is there's nothing charismatic about this man.
I agree.
He is completely programmed. He is like the candidate, the Robert Redford in that movie. Every single step this man has taken in his life is towards where he is now and possibly being the first Jewish president. I mean, the one thing that I do admire about him is his, he's outspoken in support of his faith. In his memoir with Kamala, can you imagine two more repellent people?
No.
In D.C. than Kamala and Josh? I would have figured out a way to emigrate back to Italy, to go in the opposite direction, because that to me would have just been the most horrific combination of people. But I do appreciate his defense of his religion, his tradition, his heritage, like you and me, out there defending the Columbus statue.
Exactly.
But I wish he had that respect for us. He really has some kind of, that's why I say it's personal. He has an animus toward Catholics. Every couple of weeks, there's a post about predator priests, or there's a post about, we're going to keep those horrible Catholics from stopping your reproductive rights. This is like a creepy upper middle-aged man worried about women's vaginas. It's just disgusting.
Now, do we have to bleep that if Christine said vagina? That's an acceptable term, right? Okay, I just want to know.
It is. It's a biological term.
I know it is. I made it, but there's one word. I said one word the other day with 3 letters. It starts with T and it ends with T, and they had to dump it like 15 times. It's ridiculous.
I know exactly what word it was.
And there's a bird named that. There's a bird with that name, and I can't say the bird's name.
You can say the
well,
bird.
actually, saying bird might be a problem these days too.
The great Christine. Now you're on every Sunday, right, on that Channel 6 show? You know, good buddy Dom Giordano is on that show as well. Have you and Dom ever appeared at the same time on that program?
We have. Dom is fantastic. No, I am. Yeah, we've appeared a couple of times in the past. In fact, talk about radio royalty. You remember Irv Homer.
Absolutely.
He was one of the almost originals on that show for many, many years. And I remember when I first started, which was 20 years ago, Irv was still holding court.
Yep.
And I remember being at the table with him one time. And I said something, and he said something, and then he bopped me on the head playfully. It was like, oh, what an idiot, like, then boom. And I'm like, oh, isn't that cute? I get all these emails from all of these women like, oh, he abused you. He attacked you. This is horrible. I'm like, are you kidding me? That's Irv Homer. I was knighted by Irv Homer. But, yeah, no, I'm not on every Sunday. I was on the past 2 Sundays because I think I was sort of the default conservative woman because I filled in for two different people. And I will be on again probably sometime in June. But I'm on once a month.
You're not
usually.
the token woman. You're the token conservative. And that's the way Philadelphia is, because and I know, growing up here, we haven't had a Republican mayor since, 72 in this city?
Yeah, exactly. Even then, let me see. I mean, I know Thatcher Longstreth made a couple of good runs, but unfortunately, the city we know that if you are a Republican in the city of Philadelphia, you don't have a steep hill to climb. You're like Sisyphus. You're pushing that boulder way, way, way up the hill, and it's going to crush you coming back down because there's just no way, especially now with all these different flavors of Democrats. You've got the normal, sane Democrats who are, the old-fashioned Democrats. I used to be one of those Democrats many years ago.
Me too.
Yeah, I mean, it's like we're all exiles. All of the smart, intelligent Democrats left the party. And then you've got the crazy, Jew-hating, Gaza groupie Hamas hags who are represented by Chris Rabb in the election for the 3rd Congressional District. You've got Sharif Street, who on my Facebook page, I asked my Democrat friends to vote for him because while we disagree on every political and social point, he's pro-LGBT, pro same-sex marriage, I say pro-abortion, but I guess it's pro-choice. Very, kind of like the very progressive social views. He is a normal human being. He is a traditionalist, an institutionalist, and he is a man of courage in the fact that he came out and he criticized, he's a Muslim, and he criticized a lot of the people who were, the Palestinian groupies that were talking about genocide, even though they can't spell the word, they mention it a lot. And he stood up for the Jewish community, and I think that took a lot of guts. I saw him at a fundraiser, and he's incredibly well-spoken. He has a great love for the city. He's not, a Johnny-come-lately. He's a Sharif, been here for a long time, and grew, his dad was mayor, his Uncle Milton, been around a long time. So I figured I would try and do my very best, not being a Democrat, to push people to vote for the least dangerous Democrat. Alice Stanford is an exceptional woman in terms of her medical career and what she did during COVID, but I mean, you don't want me doing brain surgery, Tony. You want me representing immigrants. Just as I don't think we want Alice Stanford, who's had no political experience whatsoever, jumping head first into one of the most important positions, congressional representative of the 3rd Congressional District. So
Even though she flamed out, though, in that debate with the reporter, she flamed out. She had a brain beep. But I think she would do a better job. That rally yesterday with Sharif Street was embarrassing. I'm sorry. I mean, they bring down one of the most unlikable phonies ever to try to bring another. You have to bring out-of-state people into Philadelphia to pimp up Sharif Street, and then Sherelle Parker was there, and the place was half empty. I don't even know where they did it. And, of course, then you got, I'm telling you, I think it's going to be a blowout. I have no dog in this fight or no horse in this race, but I'm telling you, this guy is going to win, and I think he's going to win big.
You talking about
the Broccoli Rob guy? Yeah, the Broccoli
Hamas
Rob
groupie.
Yeah.
Well, I felt that same sense of danger and horror when Helen Gim was running for mayor a couple of years ago. And I said, oh, my God, all of the crazy blue-haired, nose-ringed women out there are and men, although we can't really – in that group, it's very difficult to distinguish which is which.
Yeah.
And they're going to come out and they're going to vote in droves because they have nothing else in their lives, Tony. They live every 2 years for a primary to screw the – complete me on that, to mess the rest of us up. Sorry, Matt. I know you got to bleep that one.
No, Matt, did you have to dump that? She didn't even say anything bad. Matt DeSantis is trigger happy. He's got that. It's like he's going to get fired if something goes out over the air. It's 2026, man. George Carlin would be ashamed of the stuff that you bleep right now.
I know. Come on, Lenny Bruce. No, but I think I truly think that they have seen that there are a lot. You know what it is, Tony? There are a lot of Democratic voters who are Jewish.
Yeah.
The vast majority are Jewish.
Absolutely. Not anymore, it seems, though. It doesn't seem that way anymore.
Well, a lot of them have left the party, like Justice David Wecht, which we talked about on Inside Story last week. A lot of them very few are becoming Republicans. They're all becoming independents, which is fine. The more we take away from this, this very dangerous Democratic Party, the better it is. But I think that there are enough Jewish Democratic voters out there who have looked on in horror as Chris Rabb and his supporters have really enabled, put to the front burner, obvious anti-Semitism.
Absolutely.
I call it Jew hatred.
Absolutely.
Jew hatred.
There's no doubt about it. This isn't, and the most incredible thing is he's not ashamed to even admit it.
Exactly. He campaigned with Hassan Piker.
Yep.
I mean, that is the left's version of Nick Fuentes. And when I wrote my column last Sunday, I talked about the horrific bigotry and anti-Semitism in the Democratic Party.
Yep.
And I knew people were going to come back, well, what about the right? What about the right wing? I said there's a difference, and I will not deny that there is a lot of bigotry, in the very far fringes of the right wing.
Absolutely.
However, we don't accept them as legitimate representatives. We don't enable them. We don't coddle them. Look at all the attacks against Candace Owens from the right. Look at all the attacks against Marjorie Taylor Greene and her Israeli space lasers. We're not there asking these people to stand up for us at campaigns, whereas Chris Rabb and his crazy far left, I don't even want to say far left, they are absolutely. I put on Facebook, I responded to somebody on Facebook who said, well, I don't like Sharif Street, but I'm going to vote for him. I have issues with him because I just can't stand Chris Rabb. And I said, the perfect is the enemy of the good. The bigot is the enemy of all of us. The evil is the enemy of all of us. And you know what? I may be silenced forever for saying this, but Chris Rabb's comments and his campaign has truly delved into evil and demeaning and dehumanizing people simply because of their identities and who they are. And I find it hilarious and ironic and hypocritical that the left that constantly talks about identity politics and how we have to respect people and we have to use whatever pronoun they tell us they want us to use, and men can be women if they want to be women, and men can be dolphins if they want to be dolphins, and whatever, are the ones who are the least tolerant of people like you and me, and people who have differing opinions, and people who believe that an unborn child actually deserves respect and protection. Josh Shapiro. Mm-hmm. So I think there's hope that Rabb will not win. If I wake up tomorrow morning and Chris Rabb has won the primary, I seriously am going to put in motion my plan to leave Philadelphia. Not leave the area because this is my home, but leave the city because Larry Krasner has already broken my heart. The fact that there are people that I know are my neighbors that would vote that low-level, incompetent, and just unintentionally hilarious attorney to be our chief enforcement officer.
Yeah, he's the worst. I mean, even the guy that got called out by the guy in Congress from Texas, Gill. That guy Brandon Gill is a superstar rising in the Republican Party.
He's amazing. Isn't he fabulous?
He just absolutely owns every single witness that goes before him, and he's great. But I don't. You follow Megan Heaton. There's a lot of great people. She's up in New York. She produces the Rudy Giuliani show. And so
she's fabulous. I follow her on Twitter X. I love her. And
the cannibalism now going on in the Democratic Party people they're eating their own. It's like the zombie apocalypse in the Democratic Party right now. They don't know which part of them is going to eat the other part. It's like biting faces off. It's like they're on bath salts, like the guys in Miami would get them, and then they would bite people's faces off. Remember those stories?
I do. There were stories. I thought it was the truth. No, I mean, it is very true. There is that, this is interesting. We were talking before about how the right will alienate and shun those who really, really are just too much, too over the top. They won't kill them. They'll just leave them. They'll isolate them. They'll be like, what an Amish would do to an Amish woman that had an affair with, the Stolfus brothers or something like that.
The Stolfus. Hey, they built some great sheds. Don't be knocking the Amish up there. Nobody puts a wooden house together better than the Amish. By the way, there's a great Mila Joy is another good follow on X. She says here's why. This is what I like about what's happening in politics is the next Congress will not have Al Green, Jasmine Crockett, Dan Crenshaw, Eric Swalwell, Mitch McConnell, Nancy Pelosi, Don Bacon, Jerry Nadler, and Bill Cassidy. That's draining the swamp right there. We talk about draining the swamp. We already know those people will not be back. And that's how you start. You got to get rid of these people. You got to get rid of all the bad apples, all the people who prove that they're not really for the people. It's hard to find really a politician that you can say, that's my kind of person. That's the sad reality of what we're in right now.
Well, you mentioned Brendan Gill. He's amazing. I'm doing a brain freeze right now, but a fabulous representative from your wonderful adopted state of Florida. What's his name? My God, Brendan.
Byron
Donald.
Byron Donald. He's the congressman. He's my congressman in Lee County, Florida.
And you are so lucky.
Listen, the one thing I remember when Florida was the laughing stock when it came to election coverage, right? Oh, they robbed the hanging Chads. Now they're the best state in the country at running elections. They went from the worst to the best.
Yeah. And you got a great governor. I love Ron DeSantis. I think, and I know he gets a lot of criticism from MAGA, but I think that man knows how to thread the needle. And I think that he's a survivor. I've always admired Florida because I think Florida has common sense and it understands what its people, what its residents need. You guys during COVID, you were the free state of Florida, essentially.
I was still here during COVID, though. I did not move to Florida until because I was trying to get a house built, but I had a permitting problem, so I was still in Philly, and I didn't go down there until I started building the house in 2023, and then we had the hurricane, the worst hurricane ever. But luckily we survived that. And you're right. Governor DeSantis, and I'm telling you this, once obviously he's termed out, he's not running for re-election, Trump will appoint him, here's my prediction, to the Supreme Court. Because the Democrats are talking about stacking the court. He'll either be the Attorney General or a Supreme Court Justice. Mark my words.
I will stay in my practice just to see that happen. I'll be 65 in December, and I guess I could retire if I wanted to, but I'm going to hang around for a few years. And if I could hang around and go see an oral argument in front of Justice DeSantis, that would just cap my career. No, he's amazing. He's wonderful. And I will say, Trump has made some great appointment. He's made some. I know MAGA's not happy with some of the appointments he's made to the Supreme Court. I'm thrilled. I think that they're incredibly smart. They're incredibly savvy. They're good justices. But he's made some good appointments across the board. We won't talk about immigration. Although I will say, I do like Markwayne Mullin a lot. I think Secretary Mullin is. He's crackerjack good, and I think the threshold was lowered with I call her border Botox Barbie of the border. I know, and every time I say that they go, "Oh, you're just jealous because he was so pretty." I said I could be pretty too if I shot myself up with plastic in every orifice and wherever it was. I'm sorry. She doesn't look anything like the person that came into the world, or we first saw her when she was in Congress. I mean, she could never drown, Tony. I mean,
that happens. Buoyancy
is
is important, Christine. Buoyancy is important.
I'm not even talking about her body. I'm talking about her lips. All she had to do was put her face up. She could survive hurricane. Whatever.
Wow.
Anyway.
Well, Christine, it's always great to talk to you, and I knew we'd have some fun on this because it's, there's a lot of serious stuff going on, but this election day is a downer to me. I mean, there's just so many bad people running. It is. It's
true.
I'm glad I didn't vote in Pennsylvania because if I did, I would not vote for Josh Shapiro. I'll tell you that right now.
Josh, we said, and I know we're going off, but you said something really important. Josh is you didn't say this, I'm saying this. Josh is a coward because people said, oh, it's a political thing that he didn't endorse anybody in this race here. No, he's a coward. He put his finger up, he licked his finger, he put it up to see which way the winds were blowing, and it was a hurricane. He didn't know which way to go, so he said, oh, better I'll just stay home and I'll attack the Catholic Church again. That'll be good. I'll just deflect attention from the fact that I'm not a profile in courage, and I'll just attack the pedophile priests again. So
exactly.
Anyway,
except as Frank Rizzo once said, he's a crumb creep lush coward. I don't know if he's a lush, but he is definitely a crumb bum and a crumb creep coward.
You're a real crumb bum.
Exactly.
He's the best. Oh, that was the other Italian. If you saw what I put on Facebook, I said I'm going to be talking to the second greatest Italian in radio, which was you. And, of course, there's Dom Giordano.
And don't forget Riccioli.
How could I forget Rizzo?
How about
Riccioli?
We'll have an update on Riccioli coming up.
I adore Rich.
No,
I
Rich
adore
is
all of those guys. I mean, let's just it's an Italian takeover.
You're damn
like
right
Mussolini. We're doing it again.
All right. Mussolini. I'm not going to be dragged down the street after the show, all right? I don't think they hate me that much in my hometown. Come on.
No. And I don't see Miss Robin hanging around you like Clara Pataki.
No, she's in Hawaii. She's in Hawaii, and I'm here slaving over a 99-degree day in Center City, Philadelphia.
Well, we love you. We love that you came home, and give our love to Miss Robin too, and to Matt. And Matt, I hope you didn't have to bleep me out too much. This is hilarious. I went to Catholic school
How many
for 12
times did you
years.
hit the bump button, Matt?
We hit it once to be safe, but only once.
You actually hit the. What did she say that could possibly be an FCC violation?
Well, I'm not going to say it. Then I'll have to get
Did it
dumped.
rhyme with Mountain Dew?
We should do an R-rated show like at late night. Then we can say whatever the hell we want.
That's a good idea.
And I did
I'll
that.
use my stage name, April Flowers.
and I'll do what I want, which is what I did when I did my Friday night show on No Filter Network. I can say whatever the hell I want.
Exactly. Oh, these wimps. I can't even say the word that I want to say.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together. The great Christine Flowers, who does more work with immigration people than all of these other people who are going crazy about ICE. And by the way, today would be a good day. If you're going to go vote, make sure you take some ICE with you to stay cool. You get it? And look out for Larry Krasner, because if he sees ICE anywhere near the polling booths, he's going to bring out his stormtroopers or any cop who would actually care about going with him. Christine, love you.
Love you. Un abbraccio. Bacioni for everybody. Take care, guys.
Good night.
Bye.
There she is, ladies and gentlemen. Can you give her a roaring round of applause? As someone once said,
I can handle things. I'm smart.
I can handle
Not like everybody says. Like dumb. I'm smart, and I want respect.
Thank you, Fredo. We're coming right back. It's Tony Bruno. It's the afternoon show on Talk Radio 1210 W. Open lines to 855-839-1210. Coming up at the top of the 5 o'clock hour. Who do we have at 5 o'clock?
We've got Guy Sharaki.
Guy Sharaki at the Commonwealth Foundation. Broad and Liberty, Real Clear Politics. And then at 6 o'clock, Susan Crabtree from Real Clear Politics. So we have your election covered. We'll start getting results early once they start cheating at the election and once they start bringing in mail-in ballots. Hopefully this thing is done before tomorrow when I return in the morning show with Kale & Company for the cut sheet. It'll be the Wednesday doubleheader. Just not enough time to be on the radio here on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Hey, it's Rich Zeoli. My friends at Bob's Little Sports Shop, they want to help you exercise your Second Amendment rights safely and confidently. Family owned and operated for more than 60 years, they'll help you from the permit application to choosing the right firearm for you. Ladies, sign up now for Bob's all-female shoot. Sunday, June 7th at 2 p.m. No firearms ID card or experience needed. Visit bobslittlesport.shop.com. It's a great event and a great place. This ad sponsored by Bob's Little Sports Shop.
Living here is about more than just the headlines. It's the new restaurant opening in Fishtown. It's the playoff energy at the bank. It's the festivals that make your neighborhood feel like home.
KYW News Radio brings you the pulse of the Delaware Valley. From service journalism that solves problems to stories that celebrate our culture, we cover the life you're actually living.
Authentic, local, factual. KYW News Radio, Philadelphia's most trusted news source.
Do you think that banking is boring? At PNC, we know that meeting the banking needs of the community is anything but boring. That's why PNC Bank geared up this year and introduced the mobile branch across the region to bring banking services to underserved neighborhoods. And long before that, PNC Community Development Banking was leading the way in investing in the economic health of our neighborhoods. To see the brilliant results that boring banking can deliver for you, stop into any PNC branch right here in the greater Philadelphia community. PNC Bank, brilliantly boring since 1865. PNC Bank, National Association, member FDIC.
Do you owe back taxes or have unfiled tax returns? The IRS won't quit until they get your money. Here's great news, fresh from those in the know. Major changes have happened at the IRS. If you owe more than $10,000, you may be eligible for a 99% reduction of what you owe. Haven't filed a return for a while? Their happy clients are talking.
The IRS was going to levy my bank account, but Guardian was able to prevent that and fix all my IRS issues. Thanks again, Guardian Tax.
Need relief from crushing tax debt? The IRS now has special programs. Guardian Tax knows all about them. Personal or business, this is the fresh new brick you've been hoping for.
We aren't the company you call when you need a hug because you're scared of the IRS. Guardian Tax is the company that wins when you need it most.
Guardian Tax Service is really great to work with. They really help me out. I'd recommend them highly.
Call now for a free confidential consultation. 800-499-1424. 800-499-1424. 800-499-1424.
Time now for today's Spotlight on Tech, sponsored by Ethos.
Google has launched a new screenless fitness tracker powered by artificial intelligence. The Fitbit Air is Google's smallest tracker yet, packing high-fidelity sensor technology in a tiny pebble that tracks heart rate and variability, blood oxygen levels, sleep stages, and other health metrics. Google says the Fitbit Air has up to a week of battery life and takes just 5 minutes to charge for a full day. I'm Jason Brooks.
Earn an accredited MBA in as few as 16 months for about $21K at University of Maryland Global Campus. Explore 10 specializations, including finance, HR, cyber technology, and more. Plus, showcase the value of your MBA with a comprehensive learner record and digitally demonstrate in-demand skills and credentials to employers. No application fee if you apply by June 1st. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Shell.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Spring cleaning isn't just for your house, it's for your life. If your job is getting old, it's time to clear the clutter and spring into IT. Go to My Computer Career.
My Computer Career helped me get the skills and certifications I needed to start a new life as an IT professional in months, not years.
Earn the certifications the top employers are looking for right now. Visit mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation to see if it's time to spring into IT. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
It's Staples' 40th anniversary, and they've got deals worth celebrating. Now through May 23rd, enjoy up to 50% off. Save on paper, chairs, custom print, balloons, and more. Staples, that was easy.
Weather is sponsored by Kitchen Magic.
It'll remain pretty toasty overnight, only down to 73 for the low. Tomorrow, mostly sunny with a high of 95. But in the evening, we expect some gusty thunderstorms, maybe even some damaging winds. On Thursday, 62 with rain. Friday, we'll get up to 61 with showers in the afternoon.
Kitchen Magic in Nazareth is offering up to 30% off this May, plus flexible financing to fit your budget. Trusted, family-owned since 1979. Visit kitchenmagic.com. Now's the time.
Broadcasting live from the Piazza Auto Group studios. Experience the power of one with 8 brands and 25 locations. Talk Radio 1210, WPHT.
Oh, Mountain, baby. Mississippi Queen. Sing it. Mississippi Queen. See, and I don't know what songs are coming up. That just shows you the kind of depth I have when it comes to musical talent. Ladies and gentlemen, we have breaking news, and this is not a joke. We don't do the fake breaking news. This is real, and it's raw, and as the great Rich Zeoli himself would say, dun, dun, dun. We go to the great Matt DeSantis, who has spoken with Rich Zeoli, and we have the very latest exclusively right here on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
We've got great news from Rich himself. I heard from him a little earlier today. He's doing well. He's going to leave the ICU earlier than expected, and
Awesome.
he may even get to go home by the end of the week. So all good news. Rich is doing great.
He better stay away from Cape May this weekend, all right? Relax, Rich. Just had major surgery. No Cape May, no Circle Liquors in don't go to Dom and get the free toll by Chickies and Pete's. Pete Sharaki does that toll. I did that one year. You go to the toll plaza down there.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty cool.
And then for 1 hour during drive time, he pays for everybody's toll. And then there's all kinds of fun stuff there at the service station. That's awesome. It's a great event. I don't know. Now the weather's supposed to get nasty. It's supposed to rain and get colder on Thursday and Friday and the weekend. What is going on back there?
Yeah, that's a bummer. The weather has not been great, and it doesn't look like it's going to get any better.
Why couldn't this weather happen this coming weekend? Who do I blame? Anyway.
Yeah, we really don't have any good days coming up. It's just rain, rain, rain. Rain tomorrow through next Tuesday.
We need rain. We haven't had a lot of rain.
It is cooler, though, at least.
Meanwhile, coming up, now, you know me, I love women. But unfortunately, there's a lot of, I like smart women, and I like some goofy women because they're hot. But the 3 Mangione chicks, if you saw that was the front page of the New York Post today. What did they call them? It's an absolutely perfect title for these 3 chicks. They had press credentials in front of a courthouse yesterday. Who the hell gave these dunces press credentials to stand outside as fangirls of that scumbag greaseball Luigi Mangione?
Mangionistas, I believe, is the term the New York Post gave them. And Zohra Mamdani did say that he is not going to revoke their city-issued press credentials. So
how did they get press credentials?
They have, like, blogs, I guess.
For supporting a guy who murdered somebody in cold blood. Listen, I don't like healthcare companies either. I'm not going to go shoot somebody in the back in the middle of the broad daylight because the guy's the CEO of United Healthcare. It's unbelievable. These people are absolutely criminally insane. Imagine, and now we're trying to figure out Wood. None of them. Not any one of the three. Do we have some tape from these broads?
we do have a little tape from them.
I want to hear it so I can ridicule them even more. Let's go to the tape.
I said what I said. I don't give a fuck. His children are better off without him. They need to learn to not be like
Now, is this edited? Because they curse a lot, these broads.
What was that? I didn't get that, what you said. I'm standing on business. Brian Thompson. I don't give a fuck about it. Millions of Americans. I liked it. Millions of Americans suffer every single day from the lack of recognition.
Millions of Americans suffer every day because of health. I thought everybody wanted free health care, and now when they get free health care and they get that little you like the chick with the little curly Q in the front of her head?
Someone like Brian Thompson being around and not being a part of our society, that says more about you as a person.
What the hell is that look? She's the new Shoney's Bob Big Boy, except she's the big girl. How dumb can these people be?
Wait until the blonde starts talking.
I'd rather not. Now you have the other one wearing all the striped stuff. Wow. Wood in the blue, though. You like the chick with the striped shirt? She's got that goth look, you know what I mean? Talking with her hands. Is she Italian?
I hate to say it.
What does she have hanging out of her thing? Like a space alien? What is that stupid thing on her handbag? Or backpack or her whatever, fanny pack, whatever the hell that is. She's got some like little creature.
It looks like Yoshi from Super Mario.
And the blonde chick's all totted up, and she's got a short skirt. Maybe. That's a maybe.
No, the blonde's not bad looking. Although I did think she got less hot when she said the Second Amendment was for killing healthcare CEOs. That's a hot take.
That's a hot take. These women, if they donated the brains to science, they should be dumped into the Hudson River and not given to any other human being. Ipso Facto says, I once thought girls with the punk or goth look were kind of cute. How much they have gone down and ruined it for me. The Witches 3, yeah. What's the headline? I had it earlier. The New York Post has the best front pages of any newspaper in the world. Now they have a California Post version of it, and they publish out there. Just as funny.
They called them a couple names. They called them ghouls, bloodthirsty superfans, and Mangionistas.
Mangionistas. But the headline itself, the front page said something, ghouls on parade or something like that.
They said they're not reporters, they're ghouls. I believe that was the exact quote, yeah.
Anybody can be a journalist now. Just watch CNN or MS Now. Did you see what that idiot... I always thought he was Mad Owl was the same person as the other guy who looks like...
Oh, Chris Hayes.
Chris Hayes. You see what Chris Hayes posted today?
No.
You have to follow these people just to see the idiocy. Chris Hayes, now, because Trump had like an hour-and-a-half long news conference this morning outside of where they're building the library. So the library became a story again earlier today because Trump was out, and and the media was asking him anything, and he was talking about everything. And then their heads exploded even more once the vice president held the press briefing today and answered a million questions as well. He was standing up there for like an hour and a half. And yet they hate both people. They hate Trump, who talks to them incessantly, and they hate the vice president, who was answering every question.
I have the Hayes tweet, if you'd like me to read it.
Can you read this tweet? Because I don't even want to read it.
Right.
It's just embarrassing.
He says, I'm starting to become convinced that Trump's monomaniacal obsession with the ballroom/bunker is because he plans on barricading himself inside the bunker when his term is up.
There you go. That's the kind of deep thinking commentary you get from an analyst, not a journalist. He calls himself a journalist too on his social media. Journalist.
We have a little bit of Trump outside the ballroom if you'd like to
Yeah,
hear
let's get a little ballroom action. And not the ballroom blitz, of course. Remember that song? We have to play some ballroom blitz coming out of the next break. Remember that song?
That is a good song. Let's start with cut number 1 here, and then we'll skip to number 4. But number 1 is just sort of a rundown on where the project currently stands.
Let's go to the tape.
The capacity that we did here. So this will give future presidents, but you have to understand, when this is finished, my term ends shortly after that. This is really for other presidents. This is not for me. This is my gift to the United States of America. I'm going to be able to use it very little because when it's finished, we're talking about 6 or 7 months. But it will be used for hopefully hundreds of years for other presidents. And there will never be anything like this built again. There'll never be a room built like with the safety. As an example, if we had the White House Correspondents' Dinner here, it would have been no problem.
Bang! Bang! Stop the hammering! As what's his name once said, that other weirdo late at night on MS Now. Is that where he's on? Stop the hammering!
Lawrence O'Donnell.
Yeah, Larry. I call him Larry O'Donnell. Lawrence.
There's also a great clip from this little...
It's funny because, you know, when you see a construction site, Norman, especially like the president standing there with all this media, and these guys, nobody's stopping, like 5 guys are just standing there and 1 guy's working. They're all working. And then he offered the press lunch.
Breakfast, yeah.
Breakfast,
Cut
whatever.
4, it's very funny.
Let's go to the offer of lunch or breakfast.
Thank you all very much. We have a little breakfast for you. Really? Yeah. Where is your breakfast? I'd have it. Where is it? Oh, it's right over there. We have a little bit of a breakfast for you. I figured I'd be nice to you,
Figure I'd be nice.
And after he did that, when he said goodbye, then they kept asking him more questions. And then he went on. I tell you, he was there like at least an hour and a half.
He touched on J.B. Pritzker. That clip is also
I
funny.
love when he bangs on J.B. Pritzker, that slob. Let's go to. We have J.B.
This is cut 24.
Yeah,
Justin.
Well, I like Darren Bailey. J.B. Pritzker's a slob of a governor. You know, he could call me and I'd send the National Guard in Chicago, would have no crime. Look at Washington, D.C. Did you see the crime stats? It's down to like nothing. People go to restaurants now, new restaurants. Restaurants are all being closed in Washington. Now they're building new restaurants. It's a hot city. We have a beautiful city. We have very little crime, almost no crime. And we could have the same thing in Chicago. All he'd have to do is say, President, I don't want to have any crime in Chicago. Can you help me? Within 3 months, Chicago would be a different place.
What about the mayor, Brandon?
What can I say? He's so bad. He's so bad.
Trump gives us great drops every day. There's at least 1 or 2 great drops that get added to the board. And let's be honest, isn't that what it's all about?
It certainly makes our jobs a lot easier. There's no shortage of content.
And I'm not kidding. After he says we got breakfast, then they started asking questions again, and he kept going.
I'd be a bad journalist. I'd go straight for that breakfast buffet.
Yeah, I wonder what they had. Think they had Chick-fil-A or McDonald's?
Last time I was there, they had macaroni and cheese and jerk chicken for lunch. And let me tell you, that was some of the best macaroni and cheese I ever had.
So that's right. You and Rich went to the White House, right?
Yeah, we've been there a couple times. I think we only ate there once, but the macaroni and cheese is very good.
Have you been to the White House in Atlantic City? That's a good spot there, yeah.
Oh, the sandwiches?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, those are good. Those are really good.
That's good. Meanwhile, let's go to the phone, shall we? We got a couple calls in here. Let's get Nate and Ambler. I don't know if this guy is the fake guy.
I don't know. I couldn't tell either. I don't think he is. I think this is a legitimate call.
Let's go to a legitimate Nate and Ambler, because there's a lot of legitimate Nates everywhere. You know, remember Nate? What's the other one? Nate Now's, which is a great place in Los Angeles. It's a great deli that Larry Graham, what's his name? The guy that did the nighttime show. Larry. Hello, Houston.
Oh, Larry King.
Larry King was no longer with us. He used to go to Nate Now's. That was the big deli in Hollywood.
I got to tell you, that was a pretty good Larry King impersonation.
Hello, Houston. Let's go to Nate and Ambler. Hello. Nate?
Yeah, I'm legit. I'm very legit. I want to applaud President Trump on his setting up of that fund for people that have been weaponized by the DOJ. I'm a J6er. I beat the crap out of 3 different police officers. Will President Trump give me more money than people that just beat up one police officer?
Absolutely. I think if
I should
you,
get triple.
unfortunately, you didn't tune up that Fanone guy, that tattooed scumbag.
I kicked one in the head, and some of his teeth fell out. It was awesome.
What about the woman who they just released in Colorado who's been sitting in a jail cell for doing nothing? What about the videos of people being marched in on January 6th and the fact that it's an absolute setup job, and every single one of those people on that J6 committee should have been in prison? That was a setup. I told you this guy was a fake guy. I can smell a fake. I can smell a fake as far as I can see.
So, as soon as you see Ambler, the alarms go off.
Excuse me.
Exactly.
He got me because I thought there was a chance.
You guys are suckers. You're suckers and losers.
I thought there was a better chance that he was legit. I felt good about that
I knew
one.
it from the first word out of that guy's filthy mouth.
As soon as he said, I want to give President Trump credit, I knew exactly where this was going.
But I wanted to hear what it was about the Trump fund. I thought he was going to talk about the fund where the kids get money if you put away $1,000. You know what I mean? It's like what Social Security used to be, except this is for kids. So you take a kid, you put $1,000 away now. By that time, that kid's grown up. He's got a couple grand in the bank.
Yeah, the
right?
Trump accounts. Yeah, from the One Big Beautiful Bill Act.
Exactly right. Bad things happen in Ambler. I know. The Ambler Cabaret, is that still there? 23, isn't that an Ambler?
Could be.
That's where Mike Missinelli beat up his producer, I think, back in the day.
Are you threatening me, Tony?
No, I would never beat you up.
You let one more Ambler caller through, maybe.
Yeah, Ambler just... I love Ambler. I used to live right around the corner. In fact, when I lived in Lower Gwynedd, the zip code is very close. So my mail would go to Ambler because Lower Gwynedd didn't have its own zip code. So my zip code was also the Ambler zip code. So because the houses were all new up there in Gwynedd Valley, so when I would get my mail, I would have to go to the Ambler post office to pick it up because it wasn't coming to my house. You know what I'm saying?
Well, if you're from Ambler, don't bother to call in. That last guy ruined it for everybody. The whole borough has now been tainted.
There's some sick people out there.
But the funny thing is, you can't see it on your end, but there are about 3 or 4 different other people from Ambler that call in that are automatically blocked on the system.
Really? What's going on up there?
Well, there are a few that have gone so far. They usually like curse or something, so we actually can't put them on the air. But there's one calling in now, actually, from Ambler who is blocked. He's been blocked several times, which means he's cursed several times.
And they've all been, and it's always from Ambler.
What's going on?
I don't know what's going on.
Ridiculous. By the way, Marcus Aurelius says the Ambler Cafe, and all the other cafes, Chestnut, 23 East, all gone now. Damn Trump. Let's go. Let's go to Frank in Burlington. Let's get Frank in here. Frank, are you for real?
Yeah, I'm for real, and I'm not from Ambler.
There's nothing wrong with being from Ambler. I have a lot of friends in Ambler. I did, at least, when I... What happened to my... How about Hatfield Township has gone crazy, too? Did you see that story? They're going to host...
But they got good pork stuff, though, which is fine.
They're going to hoist a pride flag on June 9th at the police department in Hatfield Township at 6 p.m. At the police department building, they're going to raise a pride flag. What the hell is going on out there?
I was working in Jenkintown, and at one of the churches there, they have a statue of Jesus with the pride flag around his neck. I think that's even worse.
That is even worse.
But and listen, you handled that last guy like amazingly. I swear, I had no idea, and I was just like, "Oh my goodness!" Like you spotted it from a mile away.
I sniffed him out like a drug sniffing dog at the pier in South Philadelphia when all the cocaine and drugs come in on those cargo ships. Remember they busted all that fentanyl? I mean, you know that stuff's on cargo ships. They're getting that stuff in here.
It's amazing. Hey, the reason I called, because I was in the car before and I couldn't call before, and you were talking about, another, group murder by transgender. And I was just trying to think in my mind, like, what's the difference? I mean, we've always had transgenders, and like now they're just so much more aggressive trying to get into like women's sports and women's locker rooms, and
I went
so
to
much more
school.
violent.
I went to elementary school with the most famous transgender in America in that era, and Richard Finocchio became Rachel, and she was the first superstar transsexual because she had the surgery. We used to drive around in my car with my best friend Buddy Arnao in South Philly. Seriously. And she was awesome. She had her own bar down there in Center City, and we would go there all the time. So, listen, she was legit. She was one of the greatest icons in the trans community, and she was a beautiful woman. She was born in a woman's body, and she did it, and she didn't flout it. She didn't go out there and say, everybody's got to pay attention to me. I appreciate the call, Frank. We got to take a break. I'm sorry about it. I cut you a little short, but we appreciate the call. I hear what you're saying. That story yesterday in San Diego, they knew right away it was a hate crime because they knew that the two people who went in there as teenagers, one was transgender and the other one was the boyfriend or girlfriend. I don't know who, but they knew right away because they went into their car and killed themselves, and that's where they found the bodies. 855-839-1210. Just guess who's coming up at the top of the hour? The great Guy Sharaki. He's even pimping it all over social media. That's what I like. I like when we have guests that announce they're coming on the show. That's what I'm talking about.
Guy is great, yeah.
It's still 99 degrees, by the way. We're coming back for the Drive at 5. Guy Sharaki joining us. We'll get his take on what's going on in politics on this election day. One of 6 states where people are going to the polls. We're coming right back.
You've probably heard all those ads for life insurance. Just a few dollars a day, apply online in minutes, no medical exam. Simple, easy, and cheap, right? Now you're thinking, maybe I should get a quote. Well, smart thinking. Everyone should have life insurance. But here's what they don't tell you. Those few dollars a day rates, they're for young people in perfect health. That's why everyone calls Big Lou the 50 to 60-year-old not-so-perfect candidate. Like you. You take prescription meds and you're overweight. Winner, winner, fried chicken dinner. Well, Big Lou works with life insurance companies that want people like you with no surprises after you apply. In fact, if you're a 50-year-old guy with a few health glitches, Lou could probably find you $1 million of term life coverage for about $200 a month. So, yeah, you need life insurance. But unless you're young and healthy, you gotta call Big Lou because he's like you, older, heavier, and on meds, too. Get a quote right now at 800-700-6898, 800-700-6898, or biglou.com.
Hey, this is Larry Steinitz with Investor Schooling. How many times are you going to listen to my voice before you finally go to investorschooling.com? I can't believe you haven't signed up for a class yet. You're going to learn real estate investing. You're going to learn stock options trading. You're going to learn things about money that you didn't even know existed. Go to investorschooling.com right now. Oh my goodness. This Thursday, investorschooling.com, and take that free class. See you there.
In Philadelphia, Chase is proud to root for the home team because they're our team too. We cheer from the bleachers and on the sidelines. We cheer for gymnasts and quarterbacks. And with more than 80 local Chase branches and 5,000 nationwide, we are right beside you, Philadelphia. Neighborhood bankers, digital tools, national strength. Chase, make more of what's yours.
JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
Philadelphia, we've got a problem. Home care is in crisis and there aren't enough caregivers to meet the demand. So if you've got a loved one with Medicaid and needs care, don't wait. Freedom Care was built for this moment. We help you get care at home from someone you already trust, a family member or friend who can get paid to help with everyday needs like meals, medication, bathing, and mobility. If you have Medicaid, it's 100% free to you. No waiting lists, just real care from your people right now. Freedom Care handles it all, training, payroll, and support, so you can stay safe and comfortable at home. And your caregiver gets paid after every shift, guaranteed. With 97% satisfaction and over 150 million hours of care delivered, Philly families are already making the switch to care at home. Take care of your own and get paid with Freedom Care. Call 267-489-1601. That's 267-489-1601. Call now. 267-489-1601. 267-489-1601.
As Philly celebrates 250 years, it's a reminder that the businesses that last are the ones you can truly trust. That's why so many families rely on United Tire and Service. When it comes to your car, you deserve honesty, clear explanations, and no pressure. Just experienced mechanics who tell you what you need, what can wait, and get the job done right. With more of us keeping our cars longer than ever, having a team you trust really matters. Visit UnitedTire.com or your locally owned United Tire. Don't drive alone. Drive United.
Air conditioner, oh air conditioner, will you make it through the summer? If you don't, it'll be a bummer. Start your spring off right. We got huge rebates if that budget's tight. This is Jonathan Cans, and I am not a poet. I am, however, the third-generation owner of Marvin E. Cans Heating and Air Conditioning. We are the mainline's oldest family-owned HVAC company, and we are not private equity-owned. But we are experts in rebates, big ones. And right now, there are up to $2,300 in rebates available. Contact us at marvinecans.com. That's MarvinEKANZE.com.
PDQ POS is the MVP in point-of-sale solutions. Easy to use with the best support in the industry, and it doesn't take a bite out of your sales with costly fees. It's the choice of all concept food service businesses across the country. PDQ POS is real-time analytics with insights to elevate your team and your play calling. PDQ POS has been rated the #1 point of sale by restaurant owners for more than 35 years, so don't wait. Make the switch to PDQ POS today. Visit PDQPOS.com.
Is life insurance still on your list of New Year's resolutions? Now is the perfect time to add it. A buddy told me that securing life insurance sooner rather than later can help you lock in lower rates for years to come. So I added this to my list this year and got it done. I called SelectQuote and was shocked at how easy and affordable life insurance is. I'm 40 and got a $500,000 policy for $18 a month. My wife's also 40, and her $5,000 policy was only $16 a month. Plus, with SelectQuote's same-day coverage, no medical exam was required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. Checking this off my list felt great, but the peace of mind knowing my family is protected feels even better.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-280-5858 for your free quote today. That's 1-800-280-5858. Or go to SelectQuote.com. That's 1-800-280-5858. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
Splash into savings this Memorial Day with Spring Dance Hot Tubs. Save big on new Hot Spring and Caldera hot tubs and save up to $5,000 plus an additional $1,500 instant rebate. Bring resort-style living home with endless pool swim spas and save up to $10,000. Looking to upgrade? Your hot tub could be worth up to $3,000. Hurry to Spring Dance Hot Tubs in Jameson, Exton, or Plymouth Meeting in PA, or in Marlton, New Jersey, and upgrade your backyard this summer. Visit us online at springdancehotTubs.com for more details. Don't miss out on these incredible savings.
Hey, Dawn here. Get ready to ride in style this summer with that new or certified luxury vehicle you've been wanting. My friends from Piazza Premium Automobiles are here to assist you in your unique vehicle search. The Piazza Premium family, featuring dealerships across Pennsylvania, Delaware, and New Jersey. Find your Mercedes, Benz, BMW, Porsche, Infiniti, Alfa Romeo, Maserati, Jaguar, or Land Rover. PiazzaPremiumAutos.com, Piazza, PiazzaPremiumAutos.com. Tell Dawn sent you.
WPHT, HD, WOGL, HD3, Philadelphia. From the Piazza Auto Group Studios, experience the power of one with 8 brands and 25 locations. Always live on the free Odyssey app. Now, The Drive at 5. 30 minutes of non-stop talk from Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
It's Tony Bruno in the chair.
Oh, yeah.
Flying solo on the air. From 3 to 7, feel it right. 12:10, he's your guy.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Hot takes and laughs, he'll never miss a beat.
You need to go down to Boots and Saddle after the show down South Philly on Broad Street. They brought in Federal, right? Or Ellsworth.
Producing at the station, WPHT, bringing the finest in all radio. Yeah, Tony on the mic for the 3 to 7 show.
Yeah. Oh. I voted for Pedro today, not Josh Shapiro. It is the 5 o'clock hour, the Drive at 5, 5:05, right on the nose. And we bring in another one of the legendary characters from the Philadelphia and vicinity area. A man who has so many jobs, but he's good at all of them. He's a senior fellow like I am. I'm a senior fellow right now filling in on WPHT. He's a senior fellow at the Commonwealth Foundation. He writes for Broad and Liberty, Real Clear, Pennsylvania. Had a great column yesterday about the gerrymander. Blame Pennsylvania for the gerrymander was the topic. Gerrymander mania. And he talks about Obama's Attorney General, Eric Holder, used Pennsylvania as a test case for his new mission, a permanent Democratic majority in the U.S. House back in 2018. Great column. Go and read it on Real Clear, Pennsylvania, by the great Guy Sharaki, who I'm so impressed with him. I'm going to get him a free toll when he goes down the New Jersey down the Atlantic City Expressway. I'll let him get a free toll on 5 o'clock on Friday afternoon just for this contribution to the program today. Guy, how are you, buddy?
Good, thank you, sir. I'm going to need it. I'm going to be making a lot of runs between Ocean City and back for a softball tournament up in Collegeville. So I could use the help because it's going to cost me about $100 to go back and forth this weekend.
Now, you know that's what Pete Sharaki from Chickies and Pete does. In fact, Dom Giordano is going to be doing the show there Friday at the what is that toll plaza called now?
I think it's
Frank S. Farley.
Yeah, the
Frank
Francis.
S. Farley.
Yeah, Frank Farley, not Chris Farley. He'll have his own plaza one day in heaven, I think. Anyway, now, Nate, it's Election Day, and there's a lot of really reprehensible people as I look at the ballots. And I say that on both parties. I'm not just talking about Democrats or socialists or what's going on in Philly. But let's go on. Let's start about what's going on in Philly. Because, you know, this Chris Rabb guy getting a lot of love everywhere. He's bringing in AOC. And then Sharif Street brings in the guy from New Jersey. And I don't know why we need to bring people from other states into Philadelphia to try to convince Philadelphians that this is the guy you should vote for. Does that make any sense to you?
Well, no, but we used to say, remember, you and I remember, Tip O'Neill used to say all politics is local. Well, now all politics is national.
Exactly.
The more national stars, the more national talk shows, the more national stuff you can do, the better. And it's a game of who can get more AOCs or Stephen Colbert's to pay attention to you. And as I've said on shows like yours, Tony, is I don't think any of these folks are talking about what's happening in North Philly. I don't think anybody's talking about what's going on in terms of crime or safety or schools. We're just talking about who hates Donald Trump more and who can get more celebrity pictures. It's a shame for the folks that actually live in these neighborhoods.
Yeah, I saw yesterday. I mean, obviously. I call him Broccoli Rob. You know, he's got big names. He's got people that are reprehensible when it comes to their views on what most normal Americans would understand as being pro-America, as being pro-Palestine and being pro-communism and socialism and all this stuff. We used to think of those people as crazy. Now they're becoming the mainstream here in many of these cities because the Democratic Party, you talk about factions, they're eating each other, it seems, in the last couple of years.
Indeed. Look, two quick things. When I was the CEO of the Chester County Chamber, after the 2018 election, we held a briefing with our board, and I mentioned that 3 new members of the state house ran as Democratic Socialists. And many members of my board, who I love, but many members of my board said, Guy, you're just exaggerating. You're being a partisan Republican. You've got to look out for us. I said, I am looking out for you. There are 3 members of the state house that call themselves socialists. This is not your father's Democratic Party. And the second thing, Tony, remember is that Barack Obama, when anybody accused him of being a socialist, he used to pound the podium and wag that finger and say it was a right-wing Republican tactic to besmirch him and to harm him. And now they can't wait to hug Bernie Sanders and AOC and talk about socialism. The mayor of New York City has talked about the warm embrace of socialism and collectivism. So this is not your father's Democratic Party. This is not even Walter Mondale's party. If Walter Mondale came back from the dead, he would not recognize his party. And it's a shame because, again, we're not talking about fighting crime, fixing schools, or creating jobs. We're talking about a march towards socialism and crazy.
One of the things, Walter Mondale would still get on a tank and put a helmet on because that's what everybody's using, gimmicks now. He was using gimmick back then, which cost him the election. But now everybody's got gimmicks, to twerking people and women twerking and people from foreign countries insulting America and all that other stuff. It's unbelievable how it's become a circus. And I get it, but politics shouldn't be a circus. Politics should be real people with real ideas, not twerking, because the modern day mindset is these women in New York rooting for Luigi Mangione with press credentials on. I mean, what the hell is happening out there, guy?
No, well, it's become a show, and it's about clicks, and it's about followers. And look, I agree with you, Tony. A generation ago, the things that are being said couldn't be said. Look, the president said it in his own way during the State of the Union when he talked about men and women's sports and 125 genders. He said it at the State of the Union. He said, folks, if one of my predecessors had said any of those things standing here in the halls of the U.S. House, you wouldn't believe it. You'd laugh them off the podium. But that's now where we are. And that's why I say, look, you're honest about it. I'm honest about it. Republicans are no saints.
No.
And there are some scoundrels and folks who lie and what have you. But there's a difference between your garden variety scoundrel, your garden variety politician, and people who are just nuts and people who profess their nuttiness. I mean, we're now debating socialism, open borders, defund the police, 127 genders, and whether the border should be wide open. I mean, these are things that Chuck Schumer a generation ago thought were wacky. Barack Obama got angry when you said them. This is not your father's Democratic Party, and it is a shame because there are real issues. And you and I remember a time where things like foreign policy were bipartisan.
Mm-hmm.
Things like we wanted to defeat the Soviet Union and protect Americans from terrorists. That wasn't a Republican issue. Those were American issues. And now it's about clicks and slogans and talking about wanting people dead. We're in a different world, and it's a shame. And it's the reason, it's the reason why I say the Republicans are flawed, but the only choice is between crazy and flawed Republicans. I'm for the flawed Republicans every day of the week.
Yeah, and a lot of these Republicans are getting bounced. And the amazing thing is that, people are saying, does Trump still have any kind of juice as the leader of the so-called Republican Party? But every candidate in Indiana that he supported knocked out the incumbents, and now he's supporting. He's already made a pick in the Texas situation down there. Talarico apparently is now leading all of the candidates there, so we'll keep an eye on that. But you got so many other elections going on, not just here in Pennsylvania. You have 6 states. You got Alabama, Idaho, Oregon, Kentucky, Georgia, and Pennsylvania, all with elections. And the Kentucky one, that's the interesting one because you got the one guy who now says Trump supported him and he supported him, and he's the guy that hangs out with Ro Kahana. And now the other guy, Ed Gallrein, apparently is the guy who's leading the way. But we'll find out when the polls close. I hope we find out. I hope we don't have a 2:00 ballot drop in some of these states. Now, will that happen in Philadelphia if the preferred candidate's not winning? Will we have any ballots show up at 2:00 in the morning tomorrow?
Well, look, you and I grew up in South Philly, and I always say, if you think they cheat against us, wait until there's a hotly contested Democratic primary. And that is like, that is the major leagues because you have the left-wing groups all helping Rob and all of the sort of Planned Parenthood move on socialists there. And then you have the Democratic machine helping Street. And then you have the alleged outsider doctor who spent more money than the other two combined, and all of the outside, out-of-state people helping her. So, Tony, there's a chance we may not know who's going to represent the 3rd Congressional District. Lord knows, they may be finding ballots. It may be like a magic trick. They may be Siegfried and Roy, keep whipping ballots out. Every time somebody finds 5,000 more, the other guy will find 5,000 more.
It's crazy. Guy Sharaki joining us. And you look around the state, it's not just Philly politicians. We've had our share of quirky politicians in Philly, but the Summer Lee, she's hanging out with Hassan Piker. These people are all anti-Semites. And they're open about it. They're all hanging around with socialists and the Working Families Party, and they're making up all these names that sound good. but nobody knows what they represent. The average person who doesn't pay attention to this stuff has no idea what the Working Families Party is or DSA. They know what Democratic Socialists look like because they're like the Bernie Sanders and AOC are making socialism great again, which it's never been. But yet they're convincing young people that socialism is great. Look at Mamdani. He now has to go and beg those guys that he told to leave town, and he had to have a powwow with them after telling them we didn't need him in the city, and they were threatening to move. And I think the one guy's still going to go to Miami anyway. But this shows you, Mamdani promised you the world, and he's delivering nothing. And now he's talking about grocery stores and all this other stuff, and none of this stuff has ever worked anywhere on earth, let alone in the United States.
You know, you're right. It hasn't worked anywhere because all of us who live in the real world, whether it's your house, a small business, or the government, you can't spend more money than you have, and you can't have the government sit and decide the prices of things. You can't open businesses where there are no customers. Look, the same people that don't want police officers on the street wonder why small grocery stores go out of business. They go out of business because the store owner has to close at dark because people don't want to work there and people don't want to shop there. Opening up a government-run Acme in Brooklyn isn't going to solve the problem if nobody wants to go out at night because you got rid of the cops and hired social workers. Look, it's a formula. I mean, Tony, here's the thing. You and I are old enough. Some problems are really hard.
Yeah.
But some problems are common sense. If you secure the border, 12 million people don't come in. If there are police officers on the street and DAs who prosecute them, crime goes down.
Mm-hmm.
We watch it with Rudy Giuliani. Look, even Ed Rendell, Lynn Abraham, the tough cookie.
Yep.
If you empower the police officers to walk through the streets and do what they need to do, and prosecutors that listen to families and the victims, things work out. If not, then you play these artificial games of the government's going to give away checks. The government's going to run grocery stores. We don't need that. We need common sense. And again, some problems are hard. Some of them are easy. Police officers and prosecutors working in the community, defending people living in the community. As I always say, look, go back to think about defund the police. Think about the summer of love, because the left is always better at names. There was nobody in West Philly. There was nobody in Southwest Philly saying, get rid of the cops.
Right.
It was all the suburban and the elitists in Hollywood living behind gates, living on two-acre homes saying, get rid of the cops. Moms in South Philly didn't say, get rid of the cops. Moms in South Philly said, we need the cops. I want you to protect my kids. So look, some of these problems are hard. Some of them just come down to common sense. And that's why I come back to one party is flawed. The other party's crazy. I want good people. But if the choice is between flawed and crazy, I'm for flawed. I'm holding out for good, and there are some good ones, but I'm holding out for good, but I can't go for crazy. Sorry.
The most recent thing I just saw, the situation, with the gerrymandering, supposedly, you see that guy, the guy, Steve Cohen in Texas, the guy who used to bring barrels of chicken, remember, and he would eat them when he was in Congress. He's he's basically losing his seat. And guess who's going to replace him, presumably? A black woman, Republican, is now, they're talking about Tennessee, that one kid who was jumping around like a crazy guy. He was a nice, clean-cut kid, and then he was crazy, and now Justin, whatever his name is, you know who I'm talking about. That guy in Tennessee, he's claiming that, blacks are being, no, blacks can still vote. Nobody's taking the right away from them in Tennessee, Georgia, or any other state. Nobody's lost their right to vote. And so now you got a situation where a black conservative woman in Tennessee is going to take the seat of a white relic who's been there forever, that Steve Cohen goofball who was crying over the weekend on television.
Yeah, well, again, because, Tony, you understand it's not about race. It's not about fairness. It's about political power. It's why the whole gerrymandering fiasco began a decade ago in Pennsylvania. It has nothing to do with race. It has everything to do with power. Look, I'm going to go out on a limb here. Whichever person wins the 3rd congressional district primary in Philadelphia is going to go to Congress. The Republicans aren't going to win. You can't gerrymander that seat.
Exactly.
You go up to rural Pennsylvania, northern Pennsylvania. Republicans are going to win. I get it. All this other stuff is noise. Look, I watched the Reverend Senator Warnock in Georgia scream about how blacks are never going to win in Georgia if they change things. Now, Tony, a United States Senator who is African American, elected from Georgia, goes on MS Now and said blacks can't win in Georgia. Tony, I have to pinch myself and say, what planet am I on? You're an African American Democrat who was elected to the Senate where you're complaining Democrats or African Americans can't win. And by the way, he ran against Herschel Walker. The race was between two black men and the Democrat bloc. Right. So this is not about fairness. It's not about it's about Democratic Party power. Because African Americans win, African Americans lose, just like whites win and whites lose.
Exactly.
But look, we don't allow it in college admissions. We don't let it in hiring and firing. We don't want airplane pilots picked on basis of race any more than we think you and I think there should be Italian pilots. I mean,
I love Italian pilots. I like Italian women pilots.
I would say that, except I'm married to a Polish lawyer, so I love Polish lawyers most of all.
Guy, are you looking at any other stuff? I mean, I know we're focusing on Pennsylvania here, but there's not. I mean, to me, there's this. I mean, for example, in Bucks County, what are they doing? There's one Republican in Bucks County, and he's running unopposed. What the hell is that all about?
Yeah, but the Democrats are having their version of a battle because the establishment wants the commissioner, Bob Harvey, who's a real piece of work. I mean, he was the guy that on television last year during the Dave McCormick fight said, agreed to saying we're violating the rules, but somebody's got to pay attention to us. And again, as is the case in the Democratic Party, so the establishment candidate says we don't have to follow the rules. We're going to defy the courts. And again, as they say, some woman comes along and says, hold my beer. He's not crazy enough. He's not left wing enough. So Brian Fitzpatrick's going to run between crazy and super crazy. That's the Democratic primary there. That we're watching that up in the Lehigh Valley. There are 4 Democrats. The governor has his hand-picked choice. The head of the firefighters union, the same guy who last election, he asked the firefighters union to endorse Stacey Garrity for treasurer because he didn't like the Democrat. Now he's asking the firefighters union to endorse him, not Stacey Garrity. I mean, Tony, this is a soap opera, and the common theme is this. For them, it's about absolute power. If you try to make logical sense out of it, it's not about justice, it's not about race, it's not about the voters. It's about power. It's why the AOCs of the world come to town. It's why Stephen Colbert has candidates come on and does endorsements. It's not about people, unfortunately.
Now, Josh Shapiro did something really heinous, and our guys, Matt DeSantis and Justin Otero, I thought he erased it. I thought he deleted it, because it was so cringe and pathetic. So he's up in Abington today, and he's telling people to go out and vote. That's fine. But he doesn't really pick any candidates. But he did pretend that he was making selections today. And this is the most – and it's hard to pick out the most cringe thing that Josh Shapiro has done because he's doing selfies. He's got like 22 people. You know, he's obviously running for president now. Pennsylvania is just – if he forget about losing. He's not going to lose. We know that. This is what he did earlier today. Do we have the cut now? They found it in the other room. Josh Shapiro scamming the liars as a gutless, shameless sham show, talking about his selections today in the election. Let's go to the tape.
I did, before I take your questions, want to share my ballot with you. There was a hotly contested race going on about what is our favorite ice cream flavor. That was the question we had to answer before we were allowed to vote. Chocolate, vanilla, mint chocolate chip, cookies and cream, cookie dough, strawberry, which I would argue is not actually an ice cream flavor. I think it's more of a sherbet or sorbet. I chose cookies and cream. So there you go.
There you have it. That's what that's how and he really didn't. He didn't have he didn't talk. Obviously he gets money from Planned Parenthood. Obviously, he doesn't want school choice, even though Kathy Hochul in New York says I'm for school choice. So what does he stand for? He wants to be president. We know that. And he got shafted last time for Tim Walz. But the bottom line is, what is he? Who has he endorsed? Has he endorsed anybody publicly? He's afraid to endorse any of the Philly candidates, right? He didn't endorse any of the people down here in that 03 thing.
No, because what he wants is all of those people to like him and the people they represent. He's not going to go against the African American candidate because that would be bad. He's not going to go against the progressive candidate because that would be bad. And he's not going to go against the outsider because that would be bad. So he stayed away from that race like it was Chernobyl, right? He didn't want any part of that race. I would just tell you two things. One is the question is, he was doing that on open grass. The question is that part of the land he stole from his neighbor? Was he doing the press conference from his neighbor's land? And secondly, we just did learn a fact. Matt and Justin uncovered it. We know that cookies and cream must be the favorite ice cream in Pennsylvania or Iowa because he clearly focus grouped it before he announced it.
Yeah.
He would not have announced his selection because he doesn't have a genuine opinion. He clearly tested that to make sure the cookies and cream polled well. Look, the guy hasn't had an honest thought in his life. He's been, I tell people, look, let's be honest, Tony, you said it. His hairstyle, his glasses, his suit, every word he utters is contrived because it's about, as Stacey Garrity said, it's about Pennsylvania Avenue, not Pennsylvania. The question is whether our neighbors will catch on. That we are just a stepping stone. We are a backdrop in a movie where he is, the leading character wants to be president. I'd like a governor who cares about kids in Philadelphia and the poor schools they're in and the crime we have and the budget deficit and the taxes and the fact that he can't give us an honest answer on energy. He's complaining about gas prices. We have the second highest gas tax in the nation. He could cut it. There are Democrats that want him to cut it, but he can't cut it because he wants to spend and give away free things. This guy is just so utterly frustrating because he doesn't believe in anything other than he wants to be president. And that is the frustrating part. And I just hope and pray that my fellow Pennsylvanians do not reward him for basically hiding from all the real issues because it's about running for president.
I long for the days of the great Milton Shapp. That's how old I am, or go back even before then.
Look, a Democrat, as we say, a Democrat from the Democratic wing of the Democratic Party.
Exactly, yes.
Look, when you and I were around, the Democratic Party said, we care about cops. We care about firemen. We care about the guys in the factory. We're afraid the Republicans don't care about working people. You and I have lived long enough now. The Democratic Party does not want cops. They want to defund cops. They don't want prosecutors to fight people, and they want to close the factories down. Hillary Clinton told them all to go learn how to code. They don't want coal plants. They don't want factories. The Democratic Party that was Chuck Schumer, that was Milton Shapp, that was Walter Mondale, that was Joe Biden when he went to office, doesn't exist. If we were having a fight between the two parties on how to create American energy for real, then we'd have an honest fight. If we were fighting about how to fix schools, then we'd have a real fight. If we were fighting about what tools cops need, then we'd have a real fight, but we don't. One party wants to get rid of cops, open the border, cancel fossil fuels, and rich, which means you and me, not because we're rich, but it means because we have an income. That's why we can't solve problems, because one side isn't serious, and it's embodied in the guy who calls the press together to announce that, cookies and cream is the best kind of ice cream. Look, I'm for a good joke. Republicans are usually the party laughing. I'm for a good joke. But at the end of the day, for a guy who hid from making tough choices as a partisan making in the primary, he's a guy that's hid from tough choices as governor.
Yep.
I just hope we don't reward him with moving him on. Do not pass go, do not collect $200, and do not head on to Des Moines, Iowa.
Well, he's going to win. He's not going to lose in the general election for governor. He's going to win re-election, because then if he didn't win, what would he do leading up to the 2028 election, when he'll be one of the candidates along with the normal crew, and Mayor Pete will be back, and Kamala will be back, and Gavin Newsom and all these other people. What would he do if he lost the
I don't
governorship?
know what he would do. I don't know, because this is his oxygen. I mean, we have to realize that from the time he was in law school, he worked as an intern on the Hill. He then worked in government. The young man, the man who's now almost my age, has never worked in the private sector except one time when he worked in a law firm while he was a county commissioner. He had a little side hustle, the kids would call it today. So what would he do? Tony, I honestly don't know, because he's never in his life not had a government job of one sort or another. I mean, I truly don't know what he would do in January if he woke up and did not have a taxpayer-funded job to go to. We'd have a new adventure. It'd have to be like a reality show on MTV, if they still had MTV and reality shows.
Yeah, because that would be too much time for him to sit and marinate thinking about 2028.
It would be. It would be. Look, I just hope people start asking real questions, and they're not complicated, which is, aside from fixing I-95, which I've discussed on here and have to discuss on Inside Story, other than he fixed I-95, which is the main artery from Washington to Boston, we were not going to leave it broken.
Right.
What has he done? What problem has he fixed? Test scores are lower. The budget deficit is higher. More people are out of work. Gas costs a lot because we have the highest gas tax in the nation.
Second highest,
What is the problem what has he solved as governor? So if you can't tell me what he solved, what will he do in a second term that he didn't do in a first term? Tell me that. Tony, in Pennsylvania, we're spending $25,000 a child on average in public schools to have falling test scores. Tony, folks may not know it here. Pittsburgh spends $33,000 a child in public schools. It would be cheaper to send them all to Pitt with free tuition, free room and board. Why is he running for president? I mean, Tony, when he's on that stage in Des Moines, or when he's on that stage in Manchester, New Hampshire, what does he say he did? He ran up the deficit. We have the second highest gas tax. We have all this energy under.
But he's not going to say any of that stuff, because we will already know, because then people will do research, unlike the media in Pennsylvania, especially in Philadelphia, where they never vote, they never go against the Democrat. The Philadelphia Inquirer will always endorse the Democrat, whoever it is. So, Guy, we got to run, though, but appreciate the conversation, my friend. Thank you so much.
I appreciate it. It's good to catch up on the Italian affirmative action station.
Thank
I'm
you.
all for it.
It's going to be all Italians. We're going to take over again, and then I will be the new Mussolini. And don't just have me tie my legs and drag me down Broad Street to get rid of me.
Make radio great again.
Thank you very much. Guy Sharaki, ladies and gentlemen. He's the best. 855-839-1210. Jimmy Manelli's in the chat right now. Seems like a lot of people do they like Jimmy Manelli, or do they not like Jimmy Manelli? I don't know Jimmy Manelli. He's Italian, so he must be good.
We like Jimmy. We like Jimmy.
Guy knows his stuff. I think, and again, I have no reason to hate. I don't hate Josh Shapiro. I just find him to be a phony. That's all. I can smell him as far as I can kick. I can smell Nick Cale's sandals in here, or his flip-flop. No, I'm kidding. Somebody asked me if I can still smell them. I'll be wearing flip-flops tomorrow morning when I'm back on Nick Cale. And tomorrow's a double-header day. The cut sheet from 7:45 to 10:30-ish, and then back again from 3 to 7 on a What Up Wednesday. It's Tony Bruno. We're coming back with more of your calls. Phone lines are open, 855-839-1210. Coming up at the top of the hour, 6 o'clock. We're going till 7 tonight, ladies and gentlemen. The great, and I don't think I've ever spoken with this woman, Susan Crabtree, Real Clear Politics national political correspondent. And we'll talk to her about the rest of the elections going on in 6 different states today. That's next right here on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Hi, This is your old boy, Chuck McDougal. Would you like to hear more of the Brunos on 1210 WPHT? Would you like to hear Tony drop the occasional F-bomb and Miss Robin adding some of her charm and wit to the show? Of course you do. That's why you can call 1-800-McDougal. And your old boy, Chuck McDougal, will get on the phone with Greg Stocker, and I will tell him to give the people what they want, damn it. More Brunos. So just pick up the phone and dial 1-800-McDougal.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Adverts is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made available, designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program will only have to pay back a fraction of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it ends your debt nightmare and saves you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt or personal loans can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. Debt Relief Advocates has established a relief hotline for you to call to learn what debt reduction you may qualify for, so don't wait. For this free information, call the Relief Hotline at 800-535-1301. 800-535-1301. 800-535-1301.
You know what I love? American-made products, baby. That's right. It's Rich Zioli. American-made products, and that's what you get from Emmons Roofing and Siding. Owens Corning shingles are made in New Jersey. Certainteed siding made right outside of Philly. Provia windows and doors handcrafted in Ohio. And because Emmons is platinum with Owens Corning, your roof comes with a lifetime workmanship warranty. That's accountability on American-made quality from an American company right in our backyard. EmmonsRoofing.com. EmmonsRoofing.com.
Hey, this is Larry Steiners with Investor Schooling. Listen, I know sometimes you worry about coming to see me because you don't want to invest in real estate, because you don't want to deal with toilets, trash, or tenants. I'm going to teach you a way that you don't have to deal with toilets, trash, or tenants, or even own any real estate and invest in real estate at the same time. You want to learn this, so go to investorschooling.com. That's investorschooling.com and take a complimentary class this Thursday, and I promise you, no toilets, no trash, no tenants.
When the doctor informed me that I had to be transplanted, I froze. I was in shock.
Mr. Gatling was on dialysis. He had end-stage kidney failure. Transplants are some of the most complex procedures in medicine.
I received a kidney transplant at Virtual Health.
We are the only transplant center in South Jersey.
I can stay in my own backyard. I thank them for keeping me alive.
Virtual Health, the only transplant center in South Jersey. Here for good. Learn more at virtua.org.
Summer is almost here, and it's the perfect time to start stocking up on easy treats from Tasty Cake. The baked peach pie is a sweet fruit-filled snack that feels like warm weather is on the way. And the lemon cupcakes are perfect for backyard hangs, weekend outings, and all those busy on-the-go summer days that are right around the corner. Simple fun and ready for the season ahead. Tasty Cake, accept no substitutes.
If you're struggling to hear conversations, TV, or the people you love, now there's an easier, more affordable solution without spending thousands. Audion Hearing makes high-quality, rechargeable hearing aids starting at just $98 with free shipping and dedicated one-on-one support in the comfort of your own home. No doctor's offices, no pressure. Clearer hearing delivered right to your door. Join over 1 million happy customers hearing life more clearly. Visit audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
My dad passed away unexpectedly. Of course, it was awful in every way, but we are very grateful that he had life insurance. So even after he was gone, he was still able to provide for us. And that's why I have life insurance for my family. Ethos.com. They make it fast and easy to get covered. It's 100% online. You get a quote in seconds. And you can apply in minutes. You get covered the same day.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/protect. That's ethos.com/protect. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required. Rates may vary.
It's Staples' 40th anniversary, and they've got deals worth celebrating. Now through May 23rd, enjoy up to 50% off. Save on paper, chairs, custom print, balloons, and more. Staples, that was easy.
Now back to the Piazza Premium Automobile Studios.
Powering your drive with 10 brands and 20 locations.
This is Talk Radio 1210, WPHT.
Yeah. The ballroom blitz. Just can't get enough of the ballroom, can we? Trump was talking about it for like 2 hours today. He's having another news conference at the congressional baseball game at like 7 o'clock. I don't know how the guy does it. I'm fried after doing 4 hours of radio. This guy's got people coming in and out. He's got construction workers hammering in the background. And then they're still worried about, oh, he's got a bruise on his hand. Trump's dying. Unbelievable. By the way, the top story of the day is sponsored by Veneria Dental. It's not about cost. It's about care and commitment to dental excellence. Schedule your appointment with Dr. Mike today. Get a level of care that you deserve. Call 856-786-2020 or visit veneriadental.com. I mentioned Rich feeling better. He says he may be out of the ICU by Thursday and maybe on the boardwalk watching the tram car by the weekend. No, that's not going to happen, but watch the tram car, please. Has there ever been anything better than walking on the Wildwood Boardwalk and then hearing that, watch the tram car, please? Watch the tram car. Love the tram car.
It does. It makes me feel like I'm home.
You know what makes me feel like I'm home? People yelling at each other in the streets in South Philly. That's what makes me feel. My sister Gina yelling at me. My friends yelling at me. My family yelling at me. Because that's what we do when we're Italians.
I went to Chipotle last night. Speaking of people yelling.
Did you throw any high chairs around?
No, I didn't get the Chipotle experience. It was kind of a bummer. Everyone was nice there.
By the way, speaking of the Chipotle experience, did you see this woman who could be the next mayor of Washington, D.C.? We have that cut, don't we?
We do, yeah.
Yeah, this woman.
This is cut number 9. Her name is Janice Lewis George.
Janice what's her name again?
Janice Lewis George.
Janice Lewis George, which is too hard to say. But after we had all these people in Washington, D.C., and Judge Janine saying that kids doing that kind of stuff, all dressing up and going in and busting up a Chipotle, the parents should be held accountable for the damage and the crimes. But guess what? This woman, who may be the next mayor of Washington, D.C., says, One
of the candidates that wants to be the next mayor, she doesn't feel like the kids that are being violent are dangerous. She thinks that the curfews are violent. Listen to her.
As a prosecutor, I understand it's important for us to use various tools to deal with public safety. As an executive, you have to decide which tools you use and when you use them. And right now, using the curfew as a tool for our young people is dangerous. It is dangerous because we have federal troops who are in our city, mass ICE agents who are in our city. And these are the people enforcing this law on our young people. And these are not individuals who are trained in de-escalation.
Wow. By the way, she's the only chick. They had the mayoral debate the other night at Georgetown University, and she's the woman. I don't know who the other two guys are. I know that one mayor's not coming back. Mayor, remember the guy with the cocaine? Remember he said, "Bitch made me do it." Now you don't have to you don't have to do that. That's a quote.
No, that one you're okay.
Okay, I saw you reaching for the. Remember he got set. He was doing cocaine in the mayor's office back in the day. He went to jail. And then he got out of jail, and they reelected him. And this chick is even worse than that.
Was that Marion Barry?
Marion Barry. They got a statue to him in Washington, D.C. Unbelievable. Is that embarrassing? Shouldn't there be if kids can't behave as adults, why can't there be a curfew? Curfews happen in a lot of cities when stuff goes bad. I just don't get it. I don't get anybody running for mayor of a major city saying that it's not fair to the kids. The kids shouldn't be going to Chipotle and busting it up. How do you hold them accountable? Nobody's going to identify those kids. They all had the same masks, the same black suits on, uniforms, throwing stuff. It was fun and games to them. Until somebody gets hit with a high chair. And a lot of people were being hit by high chairs.
Also, why does like a 16 or 17-year-old need to be out running around on the street at 11 p.m. without a parent? That's a recipe
I
for
agree.
disaster.
I mean, I was running around when I was 17, but I wasn't busting stuff up. I was just finding straight chicks at night. You know what I'm saying?
You didn't go to Chipotle?
I didn't know. It was no Chipotle back then. Are you kidding me? Chipotle. Although when I first saw Chipotle, it was on the Temple campus. They had one of the first ones there.
Yeah.
And I'm saying, I don't know if this is going to fly. And boy, was I wrong about that. The other thing I thought never would fly, when I was in L.A. and I was doing Lakers broadcast, and I was doing a lot of sports. So I went out, I would cover the Dodgers, and I go to the Dodger games, and then I would go to the Laker games. And one night at the Laker game, they had a media event, and they were giving out samples of this new drink that was in town.
Mm.
And they were handing it out, and everybody was taking one. And you know what it was?
What was it?
The most popular energy drink ever created.
Red Bull?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
They were giving out Red Bulls. And I tasted one. I said, oh, this is terrible. Nobody's going to buy this stuff. Now Red Bull's like $7 for a 40-ounce one. So I'm really bad at picking the next trending thing. I said Red Bull. I still don't. I don't like it. But now there's like 17,000 energy drinks, right?
What products do you hate now? I'd like to buy some stock.
I didn't hate it. I just didn't. I just said because there weren't any energy drinks back then. You know what I mean? There was Gatorade, and that wasn't really considered. That was something you drank after you exercised when you were sweating, right? Gatorade was around forever. But then the Red Bull and then the Monster Energy, there's got to be 72,000 energy drinks right now, right?
You know what trend I don't get?
What? Trendiagua?
No.
Oh, Trendiagua? No, they're not good.
Not that one. The axe throwing. I see that all over the place.
No, that's starting to fade now. That was hot.
Good?
Yeah, a couple years ago, that was a big deal, and they're all over the place. They still have them. But that's dangerous.
I feel like once a week I see a clip on social media. The axe doesn't hit the wall. It just bounces back at the person that threw it.
Don't ask me nothing about that, all right? I don't know. But no, axe throwing is slowing down.
All right, good. I don't think we need that societally. The axe throwing, I'm out.
You know what they have in Florida? They have axe throwing. They have everything. They have dwarf throwing still down there. The Cape Coral area in Florida is the tribute band capital of the world.
Really?
And they're good. And a lot of these tribute bands have guys who actually, like there's one band, my friend who's from Philly, he has a Christmas party every year, and he brings in this one grand called Smokin' Aces, and their drummer played for a flock of seagulls. So the drummer from Flock of Seagulls is now in a tribute band in Cape Coral, Florida. And he doesn't have the hair. Remember the hair of the Flock of Seagulls? When they did that song, I Ran So Far Away. Now, you don't remember that either, do you, Matt?
I don't remember. I know the song, though. I don't know what they look like.
Man.
Oh, wow. They do have crazy hair. That one guy, he's got, hair.
That's the Flock of Seagulls were awesome. And they did that song, I Ran So Far Away. We have to play a block of Flock of Seagulls coming up in the next
bumper music.
The one guy kind of looks like Uncle Joey from Full House.
I mean, they had the greatest hairdos ever. I could never do that, but even when I had a lot of hair. But the guys in a tribute band. So a lot of these guys who were in bands growing up, now that they're all like in their 50s and 60s, they're all down in Florida. And they're doing appearances at bars every week. They're going to people's house parties. That's a big deal down there. Plus, you don't have state income tax. So when they do a gig, they take straight cash money, homie. Straight cash, homie. So these guys are out every night, and most of them are good. These are like professional musicians, not garbage bands in a basement somewhere in South Philly. You know what I mean? 855-839-1210. By the way, 85 likes today. I think we're a little light on the likes. I don't want to be like Greg Stocker and threaten people for not liking the show, but please like the show.
You might have to threaten. You threatened yesterday, and we got like a couple hundred likes, I think.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. Greg, that's Greg's shtick. Greg can threaten people. He's the brand manager.
Yeah.
I can't threaten people in here. You know what I'm saying? So don't forget to subscribe. Pound that subscribe button. We have 13,100 subscribers. That's kind of weak, don't you think?
Yeah, I feel like we could do better.
Damn right.
Log in, people.
Could log in,
Show
subscribe.
us some love.
WPHT Afternoons. Follow us at 1210 WPHT. You can listen free on the Odyssey app. You can listen on 1210 over-the-air radio. I heard the station when I was driving back. Was it yesterday morning or this morning? I don't even remember anymore. Driving back from Maryland. No, it was the weekend, so it was Monday morning when I was driving back. I had the station all the way down in Queen Anne's County, Maryland, and it was coming as loud and clear. So the 1210 frequency is still a flamethrower out there.
Oh, for sure. When I was living in the Boston area, I remember I could hear 1210 WPHT at night. For some reason, the time of day makes a difference.
Oh, yeah. At night,
the signal travels further.
Well, back then, there weren't many other stations on the 1210, so they called them clear channels, not the company Clear Channel, which I think is gone. But there were some frequencies like WOWO, WOWO in Fort Wayne, Indiana. They had one of those frequencies where and especially on AM. On FM, a lot of stations bleed into each other. But on AM, the stations that are clear channel 50,000-watt blowtorches like 1210 WPHT is, that station goes all the way up and down the coast. So people can hear it everywhere. And there are other stations that you can hear at night. And that's how I became fascinated by radio. When I was a kid, I would listen to my transistor radio in my basement, and I'd hear all these sports shows, and I hear comedy shows, and I'd hear play-by-play. And I said, I want to do that one day. That's how I fell in love with radio. I was listening to the radio late at night in my basement in South, we call it the cellar, in South Philly, and I was fascinated with radio. And I said, I want to do that one day. And I pursued it.
How did you get into radio? What was your, I don't know.
I had to sleep with a lot of women, but, that happens. There was a female version of Harvey Weinstein, and he was going around and looking for new talent. And I was a young talent. I was an up-and-comer in South Philadelphia. And I had a bad South Philly accent. Is there a good South Philly accent? No, actually, it was Long John Wade, who was a disc jockey at WFIL back in the day with AM radio, famous 56. That's when AM stations were king as far as music. Before the FM radio stations all became, all sounded better on FM. And a lot of AM stations were doing talk and sports. And I would hear that. But Long John Wade was a disc jockey. He was on from 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. So I would listen to him, and I would call him on the request line. And he would talk to me, and he said, what do you want to do? And I said, I want to get into radio. And he mentored me. He was really great with me. He would listen to me call. Dave Parks was the overnight guy. And Long John Wade eventually opened a broadcasting school. And he remembered me, and he called me and said, hey, if you're interested, I'm opening up a broadcasting school on Chestnut Street, like 700 block of Chestnut Street. And I was his first student. And I went there, and I was in his first class. And I was going to Temple at the time. So that was not a full, that was like once a week. But I would go to Temple because I wanted to be in radio. I didn't care whether it was sports, news. And so I went to the American Academy of Broadcasting, but I was at Temple studying journalism and political science because I figured if I get a job in news, I'll be a political science major and a journalism major. Because back then, everybody was a journalist, not like now where everybody's a pundit. I wanted to learn how to be a reporter, how to go out and cover stories. And when I got my first, I did an audition tape. Not an audition. He made me sit down and read an Alpo commercial for Alpo dog food. And it was wretched. I mean, I could read, but I sounded like, hey, yo, get Alpo. All right? Go get it. Hey, cuz, yo. So I did that. And then the day that I graduated, or when I finally put my tape together, they had me with the reverb. And I had my very first newscast at WFIL. They had reverb, WFIL News. And so they had my first newscast on the air when I was 19 years old. And then they took my audition tape. And everybody that went in there, he made $1 million because they would play my tape of me in South Philly, just coming off the street, and then me on the air at this powerful AM radio station, WFIL News. And I worked with some great people, and that's how I looked up to people who were better than me, because everybody was better than me. I looked up to the great newscasters, the great DJs, all these people who were idols that I listened to on the radio. And they were nice, and they all helped me. Because they saw that I was motivated. That's what I wanted to do. And so there's a lot of people that still ask me this day, what do you do? And I say, try welding. I do not tell anybody right now to get into radio. But I'll tell you this, though. If you want to get into broadcasting right now, there aren't a lot of high-paying. I started making like $15,000 a year working at a major radio station. But that's what I wanted to do. So I worked my way up the food chain. But a lot of people, like you guys start as producers. A lot of producers then become on-air talent, update people. They get their foot in the door if they want to be on the air. And you move your way up from producer to on-air talent or to, whatever you want to do.
Nick Cale was your producer at one point,
Nick Cale
right?
was one of my producers at 97.5 The Fanatic. And he started out as a phone screener and then a producer. Then he started doing weekend updates. And then he moved his way up the food chain. Then he got a job in Tennessee on a morning station. And so then he moved up, and that's what happens. So if you're motivated and this is what you want to do, whatever job it is, and you just keep working at it, and you look up to the people that you admire and look at them as, wow, they're really good at what they do. I want to be like that. That's what you do. You look at people and say, I want to be like that. You can't be that person, but you can be somebody that people will want to listen to. And that's what I've done for 50-something years in the business, and I'm grateful. I'm grateful every single day from all the people and all the great talents that I got to work with, look up to, and then eventually work with at every level of this business. Coming up, because you know who's coming up next? Susan Crabtree. Now, I don't know if she follows me because I can't get into my X account. Can you check before? I don't want to.
I'll check.
Yeah. I'm sure I follow her, but she's got to follow me because, that's just fair, right? You scratch my back, I'll scratch your front. We're coming up to 6 o'clock hour. Yes, we're going one more hour on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along. Which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter. Hi, I'm Judith Light. So there you are. It's flu season, and you're over 65 like me. You're having another busy year. So much to do, so many roles in life to play. But you feel like you might be forgetting something serious. Your annual flu shot. And before you know it, it's too late. It's not just the aches, fever, and chills that last for days and days. The flu can be life-threatening, especially if you have chronic conditions like diabetes and heart disease, which can worsen with the flu. Being active and healthy alone won't protect you. The immune system weakens with age, making you more susceptible to the flu. If you're over 65, ask about your vaccine options, including one made specifically for us. An annual flu shot is the best way to help keep the flu away. Visit the National Council on Aging at ncoa.org/flu to learn more and talk to your doctor or pharmacist about vaccine options for people 65 and older. Again, that's ncoa.org/flu.
I finished a 5K in 94th place, right after a man wearing jeans. They still gave me a medal. I don't want a reward for doing. I want a reward for dominating. Like Daily Prize Matcher on Bet365. I play for free and win real rewards, like up to $5,000 in cash weekly. Unlike that joker in denim. Bet365. Winning is everything. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically present in New Jersey and Pennsylvania. T's and C's apply.
Hi, Dawn Stensland here. You already know how much I love my Chapman windows, doors, and siding, but did you know they also repair screens? And right now, they have some fantastic spring specials going on. Screen repairs start at just $30. When you repair 3 screens, you get 1 free. Mix and match window and patio door screens. Save hundreds with Chapman's in-home special right now, covering up to 30 screens for just $1,500. Or you can drop off your screens at their Westchester showroom and they'll have them ready for you for pickup, up to 30 screens for just $750.
Whether they come to you or you come to them, Chapman's team handles everything with incredible care and precision. Chapman Windows, Doors, and Siding. Call or text 610-431-8898. 610-431-8898. ChapmanWindowsDoors.com. Tell them Dawn sent you.
Make growing your savings part of your summer plans. Open a First Harvest Credit Union 8-month share or IRA certificate and earn 3.5% annual percentage yield. Or choose our 18-month option and earn 3.4% annual percentage yield. Explore all your options at firstharvestcu.com/certificates, including our growth savings and growth checking accounts. Membership restrictions apply. Federally insured by NCUA.
If clutter is costing you time, fix it right away. Closet Factory designs and installs custom storage for closets, pantries, and home offices. Schedule a free design consultation at closetfactory.com. Closetfactory.com.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you've been injured in a car accident, call America's largest injury law firm. For over 35 years, my mission has been to deliver more for our clients, to deliver more for you. Injured? Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Memorial Day weekend is almost here. It's time to kick off the summer and head down the shore. Join us as Dom Giordano broadcasts live from the Francas Farley Plaza on the AC Expressway, Friday noon till 3. Check out the car show, food trucks, crab fries, a petting zoo, something for everyone in the family. Plus, it's free toll Friday from 4 to 5 p.m. Chickies and Pete's, official sports bar of the Philadelphia Eagles, will pay your toll through the former eastbound Egg Harbor Toll Plaza. Kick off summer and head down the shore with Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Religions. FBI Special Agent in Charge, Mark Remini.
We're currently conducting extensive interviews with the subject's family and friends. We've executed 3 search warrants at residences associated with the subjects.
San Diego Police Chief Scott Wall praises a guard and 2 other men at the Islamic Center who slowed the attackers.
Without distracting the attention, without delaying the actions of these 2 individuals, without question, there would have been many more fatalities yesterday.
The 2 shooters took their own lives. President Trump is not only getting a $1.8 billion from the government to drop an IRS lawsuit, money that's being used for an anti-weaponization fund, but Loyola Law School professor Lori Levinson adds,
Donald Trump filed a $10 billion lawsuit against the IRS. Then he turned around and said, I'll drop that lawsuit, but what I get is a full release for my family and me from any possible tax charges against me.
The Justice Department says the new stipulation in the IRS Trump settlement applies to past or existing audits, not future ones. President Trump endorses a candidate in a tight U.S. Senate primary in Texas. He's backing Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton over incumbent Republican John Cornyn, Vice President J.D. Vance.
We think Ken Paxton is going to be a great senator for the people of Texas, but most importantly, a great United States senator who can work on solving the problems that all of us confront as a country together.
An obituary for an old school beer.
Why settle for less? When you're out of Schlitz, you're out of beer.
That's the 1971 TV ad featuring happy people drinking what else? Schlitz beer. It's been around for 177 years, and though it was based in Milwaukee, it left a huge legacy in Chicago. Many taverns still have Schlitz logos on their buildings. Pabst Brewing Company is ceasing production due to dwindling demand for the once famous beer. There will be a farewell batch of the beer based on brewing logs from the first half of the 20th century. Allison Keyes, CBS News.
The Sandy Fire has burned almost 1,400 acres in Simi Valley, California. Tens of thousands of people under evacuation orders. Andrew Dowd with the Ventura County Fire Department.
Overnight cooling has led to the fire kind of dampening down. We anticipate increased fire behavior and increased winds.
This is CBS News.
The stars shine brighter on CBS Mornings.
This is a slam dunk.
So cute.
Gail came in singing for me today.
On CBS Mornings.
Download to see if you qualify. Not all customers will qualify. Transfer fees may apply. No Albert subscription required. Albert is not a bank. Albert Instant Loans are issued by FinWise Bank, member FDIC. Not an actual client. Terms apply.
Kylie, what's wrong? I just got hit with a car repair bill. I'm behind on rent, and I feel like I can never save any money.
Have you tried the Albert app? Albert is your financial assistant, helping you find ways to save and create custom budgets to actually grow your money. Plus, you can get up to $10,000 for big expenses, or advance up to $1,000 fast when you need cash right away.
Albert can get me up to $10,000?
Exactly. Albert spots you in a pinch and helps you grow your money in the long run.
I'm downloading Albert right now.
Download the Albert app and use promo code GO to borrow up to $10,000 for whatever you need. The Albert app helps you budget better and save more money so you reach your financial goals faster. Download the Albert app right now and use promo code GO to borrow up to $10,000. Use code GO to borrow up to $10,000.
A woman finds a 3-carat white diamond at a state park in Arkansas. CBS's Michael Wallace has more.
Thousands of people flock to Crater of Diamond State Park each year, hoping to get lucky in a 37-acre plowed field.
This looks like a great spot to start digging.
Kezia Smith of Pennsylvania says her recent discovery was meant to be after she recently lost her son and her father. Experts say her diamond is probably worth up to $6,000. Since the park opened in 1972, visitors have found more than 37,000 diamonds.
And we just found this beautiful little yellow gem. Check it out.
Michael Wallace, CBS News.
The Vancouver Canucks fire coach Adam Foote after finishing last in the NHL in his only season in charge. Vancouver lost 57 of 82 games to finish last in the NHL by a wide margin. Our copy editor is Kathleen Biggins. On the assignment desk is Gloria Chapa and Gautier Giacomoni. And our desk associate is Jasmine Gonzalez. Jennifer Kuiper, CBS News.
WPHT, HD, WOGL, HD3, Philadelphia. From the Piazza Premium Automobile Studios.
Powering your drive with 10 brands and 20 locations.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. Free speech lives here. The WPHT Afternoon Show.
It's Tony Bruno in the chair, flying solo on the air. From 3 to 7, feel it right. 12:10, he's your guy. Hot takes and laughs, he'll never miss a beat. When Bruno's on the mic, you know he brings the heat. So tune the dial to the best in the nation. Matt and Justin hold it down, producing at the station. WPHT bringing the finest in all radio. Yeah, Tony on the mic for the 3 to 7 show.
Oh, yeah. Wow, that was good. It had a good beat. You can dance to it. I give it a 75. Temperatures plunged to 92 degrees right now. So it looks like the cold front is moving through. But you know who is not moving through? Because she's living it up in California. She's an author. What I love about her is that she and I both hate the same man with a passion. Well, I hate Josh Shapiro in Pennsylvania is my first hate. And when I say hate, it's a political hate because they both want to be president. But she's got a book called Fool's Gold. She's following all the stuff in California, so I don't have to anymore since I haven't lived there since 2011. But it's not the same state. But Susan Crabtree is following everything, so we don't have to. And we're safe here from needles and going down to the Santa Monica Pier and going to the 3rd Street Promenade, which is now pretty much empty. Susan Crabtree joins us now. Hi, Susan. Appreciate you coming on. Thanks.
Oh, absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Now, I know that Izzy Garden, one of the creeps that's running the Gavin Newsom, it is embarrassing. I mean, there's a lot of creepy things like Josh Shapiro, the governor here in Pennsylvania, he creates his own cringe, because he's posting selfies all the time and he pretended to announce who he voted for today and he wants to be president just like Gavin Newsom. And he announced who he voted for and it was ice cream flavors. So Gavin Newsom is almost as vapid as But I think he's even more vapid because this guy is slimy from the Jump Street. And you actually wrote a book about it, right? Called Fool's Gold. Not Black exactly. Gold, Texas Tea. By the way, there's Izzy Garden, who's part of the Gavin Newsom bunch of losers, says that you are not a reporter.
Yeah, well, he doesn't know. He doesn't know what a reporter is. He has no idea about my more than 30-year career in journalism in D.C. and California. He just reacts. And I had the audacity to ask him about whether Gavin Newsom has a diagnosis from a medical doctor or otherwise for his dyslexia that he has talked about extensively, and that's what initiated this, rude F-off response from him. Mm-hmm. And that's why I said, he put that out. I put that out there, and that's what his response was when I asked. We had been tangling over the just general questions about how Newsom got into college, whether it was a baseball scholarship or whether it was his dad's connections that got him into college. And so he knows that I am asking probing questions. So he just wants to be able to tell reporters he doesn't care about to F off. So he has no idea that I won an award for my coverage of the Secret Service. That doesn't matter to him. He just wants to try to discredit me with the local press.
Susan Crabtree, of course, Real Clear Politics national political correspondent, author of the book Fool's Gold. I love the subtitle. The radicals, the con artists, and traitors who killed the California dream and now threaten us all. I couldn't have said that better myself.
People say it's ominous, but it's sort of funny to me because my co-author and I from the Government Accountability Institute, Peter Schweitzer's one of his top researchers, we were into corruption in California before it was cool. Now we have a lot of company out here in California looking into fraud and corruption, including the Manhattan Institute's City Journal, which I'm a part of their team now, as well as my job at Real Clear Politics. But we knew that people are pretty familiar with soft on crime and let's placate all kinds of individuals and not have no accountability, let prisoners out of prison and for no good reason. They know about California's bad policies, but they didn't know before the book and before this sort of onslaught of everybody coming to California to start reporting on fraud is the extent of the political corruption in California and the fact that nobody was looking. Basically, the reporters were an extension of the government, the one-party system in California. There was no accountability journalism, or very, very little. And so, you wonder why Eric Swalwell was able to operate the way he was for so many years. And when everybody said, people knew about this, about Eric Swalwell, well, then why didn't you expose it? The press in Sacramento. I do not live in Sacramento. I did not know about Eric Swalwell's personal problems, but I did know about Gavin Newsom and how his laws and his corruption affects wildfires, affects utility rates, affects just the spiraling deficits that we have here and the homelessness that is skyrocketed under his watch. And despite $24 billion being spent on it, just all of these kinds of money, billions of dollars down rat holes with no accountability. Very well aware of that, but you have this issue, this corruption problem in California because nobody is paying attention, and you have a lack of community newspapers and the readership that people like my mom and dad used to read the newspaper every day as they started their day and on the weekends and really kept track of what was going on in their government. And that's sort of all gone by the wayside. And the journalists out here are really into access journalism so they can get those interviews with Gavin Newsom and not get cut off.
Exactly. And one of the guys was Alex Michelson, who now is at CNN, and he was a lapdog for Newsom every single time he had him on when he was at Fox 11. I lived in L.A. for 11 years from 2000 to 2011, so that was pre-Gavin Newsom. But I knew about him and his family back in Baltimore, and Nancy Pelosi and the Pelosi family all grew up in Baltimore, and then Gavin moved up the ladder. So when I was there, it was Arnold Schwarzenegger, and it was I loved L.A. I loved going to the promenade. I loved going to the pier. I loved riding my bike, on the Venice Beach boardwalk. But a lot of that stuff is a disaster area now. I keep seeing, especially in Venice, Venice will always be a freak show, and it's a tourist place. But when you go down to Santa Monica and you see the 3rd Street Promenade, And a lot of these great places, Santa Monica now is suddenly a bastion of far left lunatics running that area into the ground, right?
It's absolutely true. I walk around there and the smell of urine is wafting through the air. And you just don't know what you're going to get. Just like Harvey Levin has recently said, TMZ's top editor and founder, he says, he was accosted and somebody beating up his car. You just don't know what you're going to get in these major cities in California, as well as some of the suburbs too. And it's just sad because we've thrown so much money at it. And what I have discovered in my reporting is that a lot of the money is going to nonprofits, and they just are an extension of the government too. And they have no accountability. So you have more than $1 billion going to illegal immigrant services nonprofits. There's a whole industry based on that, as well as the homeless nonprofits. And some of these people are buying, instead of using the money to provide shelters, which you can question whether that's a good idea and whether you need to provide more addiction services and mental health services for the homeless. But if you're going to provide housing, you might want to have some oversight with that money, more than $100 million in one case, just people pilfering it to pay for their Beverly Hills rents and luxury cars and diamond necklaces for their influencer girlfriends. I mean, this is seriously what's happening out here, and there's just no basic oversight. That's the problem. There's no regulatory. There's plenty of regulations. There's just no oversight to these nonprofits and the money.
We're talking with Susan Crabtree of the Real Clear Politics national political correspondent. We had Guy Sharaki, Real Clear Pennsylvania, talking about the election today. No election, but lots of politicking going on out there, especially the governor's and the mayor's race. The mayor's race is fascinating to me because now you have the two women, and Karen Bass, everybody knows she's a fraud. I mean, she ran away to Ghana, and you got, Ramen Chick, who now apparently is trying to make a deal because they don't want to go up against each other, and they're both. Do you believe that the Spencer Pratt buzz is really that strong? Because we see the commercials, and his media team and everything that he's doing is absolutely hitting hard. They're bangers. But people in L.A., they walk around. Do you think they're paying attention to this if they don't live in the Palisades or in these other areas affected by fires along, when you drive down the Sunset Beach, when you drive down the PCH, and you can see all the homes, and the damage is still there. I mean, are people that oblivious now in California that they don't care? They'll vote for Gavin Newsom because he's got the pretty hairdo, and they'll vote for Karen Bass because that's all they know?
I think in L.A. there is an opportunity here because of the Palisades fire. It's a wake-up call. Now, will Spencer Pratt prevail? My prediction is likely not, because of the reasons why you just mentioned. Most Californians just vote with the candidate with the D next to their name. There's 2-to-1 ratio of Democrats to Republicans, and there's a growing independents group of independents. But Spencer Pratt's message is hitting hard for the first time, which is refreshing. And I've seen an Emerson poll out even before some of his best, AI viral videos have come out, and that showed him at 22% to Karen Bass's 26%. So there's a tangible, he's having an impact. Whether he can prevail or not is a whole other story. But I do like the fact that he's calling them on the carpet for this bad management and this entirely preventable homes that just burn to the ground, a whole community of beautiful, luxurious homes. And unfortunately, we had a canary in the coal mine with that situation. This didn't have to happen. There was a fire up in Paradise. It's an unfortunately named town in Northern California that was leveled in 2017. And there were great lessons that were taken from those fires. Then you had the Altadena fire, which was also caused by a utility, which the Paradise fire was caused by PG&E. And you had an Altadena fire caused by SoCal Edison. And the utilities are totally in bed with the Democratic power base in California. There's so much money flowing back and forth between those two, between the utilities and the Democrats. frankly unbelievable. You had Gavin Newsom's wife's charity taking money from PG&E. They took so much money, and you had so much influence from the utility to her nonprofit, her gender justice nonprofit, that she was screening the films in PG&E headquarters in downtown San Francisco, and they were taking upwards of $700,000, she and Gavin Newsom, for his campaigns and her documentary nonprofits. So for years and years and years that was happening. But the Palisades fire was just entirely preventable because of the management problems of the city.
Mm-hmm.
And Karen Bass is, running off to Ghana, and her deputy mayor, as Spratt rightly points out, was sidelined because he called in a bomb threat to the city.
I know, it's insane.
These are our leaders.
The mayor thing, I agree. That's I hope Spencer Pratt wins, but who knows? But the governor's race is really fascinating because you got what's this guy? The guy from Joe Biden's HHS secretary was humiliated in an interview where he's telling the reporter, this is older, but it's still relevant. He didn't want her to ask he wanted some tough questions, but not all tough, because it's a profile. Has that hurt his cause out there? Because everybody knows the guy did nothing when he was the HHS secretary for Joe Biden.
Yeah, you can't have even the DHS secretary, Mayorkas, Biden's DHS secretary, has declined to endorse him. People in the Democratic leadership, Pete Aguilar, California Democrat in the House Democratic leadership, an acolyte to Pelosi, has also declined to endorse him. So has Newsom. This is because he was a do-nothing HHS secretary, lost hundreds of thousands of children, immigrant children in the system, and that were later abused at the workplace. He was just not known as a very, he was known as inept, and also as Attorney General. So there's also a scandal, a money laundering scandal involving his campaign manager and Gavin Newsom's chief of staff. Yeah, so Gavin Newsom doesn't want to touch him, but yet he probably will get voted in. Steve Hilton is the Fox contributor. He's a small business owner. He's been blitzing the state, working so hard. He has a plan for everything. He's going to not tax anyone who makes under $100,000 or their first $100,000. He's not going to tax you on. And he's the most articulate candidate, and he's been the most energetic. And he and Becerra are sort of neck and neck. And you got Tom Steyer up there. I'm a little concerned that if the other Republican, Chad Bianco, does not bow out quickly, that two Democrats will emerge from this primary in June 2nd. So Chad Bianco, this is his time. If he really wants a Republican in governor's office, as he says he does, so it's time for him to really think through whether he wants to stay in this race or not.
Now, of course, he can't run for president, Steve Hilton, because he's not an American citizen, or he is, but he wasn't born here, just like Arnold Schwarzenegger. But I don't know. I mean, is there a possibility that Steve Hilton could pull this out if he is one of the last? If he goes against Becerra, I think he has a good chance to win. Don't you?
I don't think he has a great chance to win. I think Spencer Pratt has a better chance to win the LA mayor's race just because of the Palisades devastation. It's hard to look away if you're an Angelino, but statewide it will be difficult. I can't say it's impossible, but as I'm telling you, the Democrats in the state outnumber Republicans 2-1, and they simply vote for the D beside the name, even if things like Spencer Pratt's viral video about everything is awesome, the spoof on that, everything is awful. Even though that just paints such a terrible picture of California, and most of it's accurate, it's just they double down on crazy out here. It's almost like it's virtue signaling. I'm going to be a do-gooder, so I'm voting Democrat. They don't care about the outcomes. And they're not very politically well-read or astute, the electorate out here.
The one race that's really, 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 I'm shaking my head because I was on the air in San Francisco for 17 years on KNBR with Gary Radnich, a prominent guy in that area. He's retired, but the seat, the Nancy Pelosi seat race with Scott Wiener in San Francisco, to me, has got to be one of the. He just had like a drag queen woman come out, and not that they come out, but actually appearing at a rally for him and doing all kinds of crazy stuff. And this guy has some of the most. And again, I don't care that he's gay. Or I don't care that he puts on bondage gear and that stuff. I care about the policies that he's endorsing. Well, he's the guy who proposed the legislation that if you are HIV positive and you pick up a guy in a bar, you don't have to tell him that you have HIV before you have random sex with a stranger. I mean, that's insane, isn't it?
Yes, he also is the sponsor of the bill that was successful, that if you are within 9 years, if you are a pedophile, basically, if you're dating someone that is 9 years your junior and you're 20, I guess it's 24, 23, you're not considered a sex offender.
I know.
You don't have to be registered as a sex offender. And it's just, you see that Nancy Pelosi did not endorse him. She endorsed a Connie Chan, who is supposedly far left of Scott Wiener, but that's kind of difficult in my estimation.
Well, the good news is that Katie Porter is in her last shot. I don't think you can get out of her shot. Everybody's out of her shot. She's pretty much toast, isn't she?
Yeah, she is, and it really revealed who she is. She cannot escape that the boiling potatoes that she supposedly threw on her ex-husband's head. She's very good at arguing, and she did very well in the last couple of debates. But her personality and her problems with her personality came out loud and clear. Even though she was reprimanding the other candidates for name calling, within the same moment, just seconds later, she called Bianco a cupcake cowboy or something to that effect, and she can't help herself.
I know. Well, there's not. Listen, I love tough women, but and again, she did that commercial where she mocked herself about standing it out of my shot and trying to poke fun at herself. I don't know. I mean. She can't be polling. Is she going up in the polls after those debacles?
Only because Eric Swalwell got out of the race. Yeah, I think it's baked in at this point. People do not like her, and she, at the same time though, she did well. She made the debate more interesting on the last two. If you watched them. So it was actually better for me because she was calling Becerra out on, and she was siding with Steve Hilton on some of these things like the ethics questions surrounding Becerra. So she made the debate more interesting, but there's nobody who is looking at her as a type of leader you want when has such a reputation for treating her staff so terribly, and her ex-husband.
Yeah, she's a loose cannon. I don't have a problem. I'm a loose cannon, but I'm not running for the state government. I'm not running to be a governor or even a mayor here in my native Philadelphia. I live in Florida now, so I'm going back to Florida because it's going to get cold here now in a couple of days. We had like 100-degree days, and now it's going to go back into the 70s and rain all week, and I can't handle that. I've got to go to the heat, humidity, and bugs of Florida where everybody's leaving. Why don't you go back? You're from where? Where are you from originally?
I'm from California. I lived in D.C. In the heat and humidity, mosquitoes, in the swamp for 23 years. So I go back and forth now. But I would love to have California improve. I'm so glad these Republicans are finally calling them out. It's refreshing to see, and it's refreshing to see them coming up in the polls. You haven't, in a statewide race, especially, you haven't seen that for the last few years.
Exactly.
So I give Steve Hilton credit for, so raising the level of this debate. He really has done a good job and so has Chad Bianco, in trying to say, this is the craziness that we have in California, and we're going to call it on the carpet. We're not going to just have no viable Republicans running on the other side.
Yeah, I mean,
so I give him all the credit.
It's
because
like,
it actually helps expose Gavin Newsom's record. He's running, he wants to export all these values across the country. And so Steve Hilton running is exposing Gavin Newsom's record, as well as all of the California Post coming up. Thank goodness for that.
Yep.
New conservative publication in California, and the Manhattan Institute sending their team of reporters out here to expose the fraud and corruption.
Yeah, I mean, and there's, everybody thinks everybody in California is far left. Many of them are, but then you have the people that there are some people at the institution in Stanford that are
Hoover, yeah.
Yeah, the Hoover Institution at Stanford is not right wing, but they're conservatives. And you wouldn't think there'd be any conservatives, especially at Stanford University, but those guys do a great job. VDH and a couple of other members of that organization.
Oh, yeah. There are 6 million, roughly, voters, Republican voters who regularly vote in California. I think that's the number around that Trump got last time around. So there's millions of Republicans in California, even rivaling at sometimes Texas, just a million or so less than Republicans are in Texas. So people don't realize that. But we just, especially with Prop 50, we're just losing our representation. It's like taxation without representation, literally, in California with that new Prop 50 that just is likely to wipe out 2 to 5 Republican seats. And Republicans only had 9 to begin with. So there are hopefully they'll get out and vote. So in primaries with this very low turnout situation, there's more of a chance to have an impact. So we'll see what happens. You have 2 weeks left, and the mail-in votes are already, the Republican turnout is pretty high. The enthusiasm is high for Spencer Pratt and Steve Hilton.
No, that's good. I mean, again, I'm not a far right guy. I'm a down the middle. I'm an old school common sense guy. Makes sense to me, and then I'll consider voting for you. And then probably like in Philadelphia, where I grew up and where I'm doing the shows this week, this city's been voting one way for 73 years. And I grew up as a Democrat. Everybody grew up as a Democrat in cities like Philadelphia and San Francisco. And you name it, even L.A. Although, California's had some Republicans running this ship as well. So I don't know if it's going to change. I don't really care about either party. I just want to have the best people win. And we seem to have more nutcases running all over the country, especially in Michigan. Michigan has the craziest whacks out there, and there's too many to even mention. Well, Susan, it's been nice talking to you. Congratulations on the book. I love the title again. It's called Fool's Gold. And I got to read the entire Fool's Gold, the radicals, con artists, and traitors who killed the California dream and now threaten us all. Congratulations, Susan. Stay on that Gavin Newsom, because he's a crumb bum. Everybody who's been around him knows it. He's just a weasel, and I can't believe anybody buys a single word that he says. And his wife, is he going to have to shut his wife down finally, too? Because she's not helping him, I don't think.
I don't know if he can. I mean, I'm scared of her.
I'm not saying a guy should tell his wife to shut up. I mean, I argue with mine, but I never say shut up to her. But my wife is. I'm not running for president, and my wife is not running for her whatever the hell she's running for, running all these fraud scam artist things that are going on. Hey, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Susan. Appreciate talking to you. It was fun.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thanks so much for having me.
Susan Crabtree. There she is, ladies and gentlemen. Very delightful. Calm, cool, collected. You know what I'm saying? She was nice. I had never spoken with her before. I hope she's following me now, because I've been following her. That's all I want. Just follow me back.
I bet she follows you now. That was a good conversation.
I don't ask for much. I'm not a tyrant. Have I been a tyrant to you at all?
To me?
Yeah.
No, you've been very nice, actually.
I owe you money for paying for my parking yesterday because I didn't get a ticket.
$6. It's fine.
I'm good for that.
I was wondering if you ended up getting a ticket.
No,
I'm
I
glad to
didn't.
hear you didn't.
I did not.
Because there was that gap where you had parked it and we didn't actually put money into the meter, and I wasn't certain if we had gotten there in time.
The only gap I watch is when you get on a train and sometimes the train's a little too far away and you fall on the tracks.
It hasn't happened to me, but I know what you're talking about.
Jimmy Manelli says, and there she goes, as Opelka would say. Is that what he says at the end of the game? And there she goes. Anyway, we're going to take a break, right? And then we have open lines. Let's do the last half hour. Let's go Open Phones America. That's what Rich Scioli would want if he were here today. And again, the good news is Rich Scioli has spoken with the great Matt DeSantis. And Matt DeSantis has the good news. So repeat it one more time for the people who weren't with us earlier.
Surgery went well.
Mm-hmm. That was yesterday.
He's expected to get out of the ICU earlier than expected, and he may be able to go home as early as Thursday.
Wow.
So great news.
That is
Everything
great
went well.
news. And by the way, Justin Otero, Phillies. Oh, they are the hottest team in baseball right now. Who's pitching tonight? Because the Phillies once again put on a show last night. This team's on fire.
Bats are finally hot,
So they won even without what's his name in the lineup last night?
Yeah, without Schwarber.
No Schwarber, but they still. Bryson Stott hit a home run deep in the game, right?
Yeah, this is something we've been waiting for from Bryson Stott for years to finally have some kind of pop. Schwarber, I think, also might be out tonight. Nothing confirmed, but he's listed as probable.
Is that game on Fubo? Or is that back on regular programming now?
This should be on NBC Sports Philadelphia.
Okay. Is John Clark? Well, he's there. He's right across the street, so it's a home game.
Yeah.
They have a good crowd. They're going to get good crowds now. It's more Memorial Day, even though the kids are going to be in June, in school till June for missing all the school days. Still going to be a beautiful night for baseball until we get to the weekend. They're at home for this weekend, too. So who's coming to town when the weather's going to suck?
Coming up for I know tonight's going to be a tough game for the Fightins. They're going up against Cincinnati's best pitcher, Chase Burns, 5-1 record.
Yeah, he's good.
1.87 ERA against Jesus Luzardo. Bit of a rough start for Jesus, but he's been kind of finding his rhythm, sitting around like a high 2, low 3 ERA. So it'll be another defensive matchup. But after that, then you've got one more game tomorrow with Cincinnati. Then Cleveland comes in for a spell, and then San Diego comes in for a spell.
The Cleveland Indians, they're not going to ever be the Guardians to me. I'm sorry.
No.
I will never call them the Guardians. I don't even call the Guardians of the Galaxy Guardians. And so he's definitely not a Guardian. The team isn't, anyway. Kevin Pulse, is it me or does Matt like a little like Sidney Crosby? What?
Sidney Crosby. The Penguins
guy? Is it me or does Matt like a little like Sidney Crosby?
I think he's saying it looks a little bit like Sidney
looks
Crosby.
like about it. Okay.
Sidney Crosby, a handsome guy?
I could.
Matt's got that little stash. He's got that little hockey porn stash thing going on right now.
Let's see.
I can.
Oh, you know what? I can see that a little bit.
Yeah.
Now that I'm like,
thank you, Kevin.
Looking at it. Yeah, Kevin.
It could have been a worse comparison.
Jimmy's with a great one. He says, thank you, Matt DeSantis, for delivering the great news about our own Rich Hawes Scioli. I'm Rich Scioli. See, because if you say Rich Scioli real fast, it doesn't sound right. Right? He does it right. It's Rich Scioli. Did I mention Dr. Venaria, by the way?
Yeah,
you
did that last hour.
Can I mention it again?
Yeah, why not?
Go for it.
I need a little dental work. Can I get a quick appointment tomorrow for the great Dr. Venaria? Venaria Dental, it's not about cost, it's about care and commitment to dental excellence. Schedule your appointment with Dr. Mike today. Get a level of care that you stinking deserve. Call 855-786-2020 or visit venariadental.com. Open lines. Again, your chance. Call now or forever hold your peace. I will be back tomorrow morning, though, with Kale and Company for the most important day-night doubleheader you will hear. I don't even know if it's day-night because by the time I'll get off, it'll be 10:30. Then I got to be back here by 1. So should I just stick around all day?
Yeah, you might as well. That's going to be a long day.
Long day.
No, I love doing that.
They should change the name of the station.
To what?
I don't know, something with Tony in it, I guess. Tony instead of WPHT.
But I believe right now, if you're following closely, we've got Rich Scioli, Italian-American. Dom Giordano, Italian-American. Anthony Joseph Bruno Sr., Italo-American as well. Are we taking over? Are we once again conquering broadcast media with the Italian stallions?
There are a lot of Italians here. I'm Italian also.
That's right. Matt DeSantis. Because Ron DeSantis is Italian, and DeSantis is an Italian name. Everybody thinks it has to have a vowel at the end of it, but it does not, right?
Yeah, we've got the lowercase e, capital S. I think that saves us.
Is that what does it?
I don't know. Of Saints is what the last name means in Italian.
Now, Justin, Otero's not Italian, is it?
No, Otero is Puerto Rican, Spanish.
Now, Sherry Otero, the girl from Philly, right? It was on Saturday Night Live. Is it Oteri or Otero?
Otero.
No, her name.
She's Oteri.
Oh, she's Oteri.
And she's Italian then. So Sherry Oteri is Italian?
I don't know. She doesn't look Italian, but
she was on the Saturday Night Live, right?
Oh, wait. No, you're right. She is Italian.
Come on, man. I know my Italian.
It's literally the first thing on her Wikipedia page, Italian ancestry.
Oh, by the way, Kevin Pulls, there's still time to go and patronize, eat at, or order from Papone's Pizza in Aston. They're donating 10% to the charity that he runs, Checkmates Charitable Association. So we'll get one last pop to go up to Papone's in Aston, in Delco.
Kevin's a great guy, too.
Yes, he is. He's a pain in the neck.
My mom's side of the family is Italian. Their last name's Spiratio.
And Chris Eppolito says Guinea Radio. Not New Guinea, old Guineas. The New Guineas and the Papua New Guineas, they were not the same. Guineas. Is that offensive to
I think it's probably not.
What's the most offensive
Eppolito
nickname?
Said it, so
what's the most offensive nickname to Italians? I don't care. WAP?
Let's not name them all.
You know how WAP started?
No.
When the Italians had to come over on the boats, when they go to, like my mom. My mom came from Italy with my dad, who was a war hero. She met my mom as a war bride, and they came over together on the boat, and that WAP stood for without papers. So that's why they called Italian WAPs, because they had no papers. We don't call the people who cross the border without papers any names. If we call them illegal aliens, people go crazy. They're not illegal aliens. They're undocumented. No, they're illegal aliens, just like WAPs were, but then they got legalized, but they came through the right way on a boat.
I asked Google bad names to call Italians, and it gave me a warning. It said using racial or ethnic slurs is generally avoided due to their derogatory nature.
Without papers is not derogatory.
Well, I'm just telling you what Google's
You down
telling
with
me.
WOP? Yeah, you know me. Goomba Radio? See, when I hear the Goombas, weren't they the guys in the Marios, the bad guys?
Oh, yeah, the Mario
Goombas.
game, yeah.
I mean, they were greaseballs. Mario and Luigi, you can't be any more Goomba than that.
They're great plumbers.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Joseph Ricciani says, I sleep with greasy hair. Yeah, there's on Chris Eppolito, there is unquestionably more vowels on WPHT than in the word unquestionably. Undocumented Democrats. I sleep with greasy hair. See, I sleep with no hair, but when it gets humid out, my head gets greasy. I have to degloss it at night.
Wait, what? You have to degloss it.
How about fatabuto disgraziata? See, Italian, bad language. Oh, by the way, did you see the artist in New York? The guy who does all the paintings. He's an Italian guy. He made a sculpture yesterday. Did you see that? I think we have that video. I know I saw it on the cut sheet.
I'll grab
What's the
it.
guy's
I think we
name?
have it today.
What the heck's his name? Yeah, it was yesterday's story. He went to the governor's mansion. He went to New York City, and he's the guy that does all the art. He's an amazing artist. He paints all these amazing paints. You know what I'm saying? And then he made this gigantic sculpture of a middel finger in the air. So not only does he paint, he sculpts too. And he made this sculpture just for Mayor Mamdani. And he rolled it out on a cart. And then he had people looking at it. And you got to, you know what it says on it? You have to see this video. Do we have to blur it because it's middle finger?
Nah,
it's fine on YouTube.
I hate when people blur out the middle finger. But it's a middle finger, and he brings it over, and on the plate, it says "Vaffanculo," which is an Italian word, and you can't say it in English because you'd have to hit the dump button. It's in front of the city hall. And then he took it to the mansion, the mayor's mansion, the Gracie Mansion, and he rolled it out there and put it in front of Gracie Mansion and was screaming for Mamdani to come out. So it started in front of City Hall, but I think he took it. I know I cursed in Italian, but see, saying that in Italian doesn't sound like a bad word. So they didn't dump me when I said it. Did you dump me again, John?
Oh, we had
want
to
some
dump
bad
it.
news.
Did you dump me on that?
Yeah, we had to dump it.
Matt said to dump it.
We're not allowed to curse in other languages either.
Who said to dump it?
We have to. We technically have to.
You can't say disgraziato?
That you can say.
No, that one's fine.
It was the other one. Don't say it again.
Come on, man.
We're gonna run out of dumps.
No, there's plenty of dumps. Have you been on Point Breeze Avenue lately? Come on, man. Have you been in Kensington? Jesus. Wait, Justin's pointing at Matt. You were the one dumping. Who was dumping it?
Well, I made the decision. Yeah.
I hate to do it to you guys.
No, what?
I hate to do it to you.
Go. You know the thing.
Come on, man.
We got a break, Tony.
We'll take a break. We're coming right back. I'm going to wrap this baby up. I'm going out to dinner, and I'm going to have some cocktails tonight.
We'll also have some Kentucky primary news for you when we come back from break.
The polls are closing now?
The polls are closed in Kentucky.
Oh, beautiful. I love election coverage. We're coming right back. Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Kale and Company weekday mornings 6 till 10.
Here's the big announcement. Coming up next Thursday, May 28th at the New Jersey FOP Lodge 56 in West Berlin, we will be live from 6 to 11, and we will have a special guest. Sean Farish is coming on up.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a good old time.
Yes.
Yes.
Sean will join us live and in person next Thursday at FOP Lodge 56. Go get tickets right now. 1210WPHT.com. They're free. Again, they're free.
Start your day with Kale and Company. Weekday mornings 6 till 10 on Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and the free Odyssey app.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made available designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program may only have to pay back a fraction of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it could end your debt nightmare and save you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt or personal loans can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. For free information and to learn what debt reduction you may qualify for, simply go online and visit DRA.com or call 800-535-1582. 800-535-1582. Again, that's 800-535-1582.
If you're in the Philadelphia area and caring for a loved one with Medicaid, get paid starting today. Freedom Care has already helped over 162,000 families get the care they deserve, with 97% satisfaction and more than 8,000 five-star reviews. If you have Medicaid, you need to hear this. You may qualify to choose a caregiver you already trust, a family member or friend, and they can start getting paid. No agencies, no strangers, just someone you know, helping with meals, medication, bathing, mobility, and more. This service isn't for later, It's for right now. It's 100% free to you through Medicaid, and caregivers get paid right away after their shift. Find out if you qualify today. Call 267-535-2174. That's 267-535-2174. Don't wait. Call 267-535-2174 now. Again, that's 267-535-2174. Freedom Care. Get paid to care starting now.
Living here is about more than just the headlines. It's the new restaurant opening in Fishtown. It's the playoff energy at the bank. It's the festivals that make your neighborhood feel like home.
KYW News Radio brings you the pulse of the Delaware Valley. From service journalism that solves problems to stories that celebrate our culture. We cover the life you're actually living.
Authentic, local, factual. KYW News Radio, Philadelphia's most trusted news source.
Did you feel that drafty breeze from your windows this winter? Yikes, it was scary cold. But just as scary is that you now know that your windows will let in that hot, humid air all summer. Let PJ Fitzpatrick help reduce your utility bills with custom-made, double-insulated replacement windows. PJ provides peace of mind with a lifetime guarantee on materials and labor. Plus, PJ Fitzpatrick has a variety of financing packages that work with any budget. You can have it all. Visit trustpj.com today for your new windows. That's trustpj.com.
There's one box that you'd run back into your burning house to grab. It's the box filled with your videotapes, film reels, and photos. Those sentimental, meaningful, irreplaceable moments. Hi, I'm Nick Mako.
And I'm Adam Baselogger. We started Legacy Box over a decade ago so that we could help families save their memories from being destroyed by floods or fires.
And it's not just natural disasters, Adam. Every day, videotapes and photos are slowly fading away, decaying, neglected in closets and attics.
Digitizing your old media stops fading, and preserving those recordings means they are safe forever. It's like magic, converting your shoebox of memories into digital files, ready to watch and share.
It's the only way to ensure your legacy is safe for generations. That's why over 1 million families have already trusted Legacy Box. Legacy Box is simple and easy, it works, and is safe. We'd love to preserve your family's collection. Don't wait, the risk is too great.
Visit legacybox.com/radio to save 50%. That's legacybox.com/radio to get started and save. Legacybox.com/radio.
Your heart's rhythm, heart. Don't take chances. DemandDeborah.org.
Now back to the Piazza Auto Group Studios. Experience the power of one with 8 brands and 25 locations. This is Talk Radio 1210, WPHT.
And I run so far away. It's got a great guitar riff in this song. Huh? Here, we got to play it till the good riff. This was a banger back in the day. And I told you, the drummer from this group is now in tribute bands in Florida. Now you remember this song, don't you, Matt DeSantis?
I do know this song. This is the Seagulls, right?
The flock of seagulls,
Flock
man.
of seagulls.
Not just regular seagulls that poop on your French fries when you're on the boardwalk, or when your car just gets washed. On the keyboard, you just hit Shift and the minus key. I don't understand that ipso facto. I don't know what he's talking about here. Anyway, yes, we had to dump the word that I was talking about. Yeah, so since we're born here, aren't we Native Americans? Yes, we are, R.T. Booth. We are Native Americans. But you're right. If you came here on the boat and you went through Rikers Island and then you had to go and pass a citizenship test, you're an immigrant. If you just walk across, you get on a boat and then you go to San Diego and just pull up on the beach and then go run into the country, you're not an immigrant.
Ellis Island, not Rikers Island.
I mean, yeah, Rikers Island.
You don't want to go there.
No, the people coming across illegally should be going to Rikers Island. And Mamdani wants to close that, of course, and make it low-income housing. But I am lost in our conversation, Susie. So the election returns are coming in. It's still early in Kentucky, but Ed Gallrein, the guy who's going up against Thomas Massey, who some people like. I mean, I don't care who gets in. I really don't. But to me, we're seeing a lot of people. The swamp is being drained, and it should. All of these old fogies need to go. Ellis Island. I don't know why I keep saying Ellis, Rikers Island. I got prison sex on my mind, maybe. I don't know. I know my mom came through Ellis Island. So did my dad was an American citizen. He was in the 82nd Airborne, okay? He was fighting Nazis. And then he went to Italy and was fighting Mussolini. So I'm proud that my dad was a member of the military and a hero. And he married my mom, and they came over on the boat, and they went to Ellis Island. Not Rob Ellis. Is he still doing sports talk? I don't know.
He might be.
By the way, you know it's coming up at the top of the hour.
Jimmy Fallon.
Jimmy Fallon, ladies and gentlemen. So we had a great show today. What time are we going to break?
55.
Okay. Well, I want to thank everybody. We had a good show today. I think all the shows, we've been working hard for you. But today, because it's election day, Guy Sharaki, we want to take the great Christine Flowers, Guy Sharaki, who brought it heavily, and then the lovely Susan. I like Susan Crabtree. I like the way she talks. She's got that nice, cool, calm, collected California girl feeling.
Susan is an audience favorite for sure. Everybody loves Susan.
I love her. I love her a lot. Is she single?
I don't know. You should have asked her.
I may be if Robin finds out that that's how I've been talking to her. RT Boots says, my Irish forebears got here before the Statue of Liberty. My German forebears came in the 1880s when we were setting high temperature records, which we've now beaten from the 1880s. Mary Walter tonight? No, she's not coming on. It's Jimmy Fallon.
Another fine Italian American on 1210 WPHT.
Mary Walter's Italian?
No, Jimmy Fallon.
Oh, Jimmy Fallon. Yeah, absolutely. Thank everybody. God bless America. Thanks everybody for listening. We'll be back tomorrow morning on Kale and Company, and then of course, once again tomorrow afternoon from 3 to 7, right here on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9834. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous program.